Kicking off over on GaryCon Live. It's good to see everybody. My name is Eric Campbell. I am the Dungeon Master for this particular bizarre adventure into the worlds of Planescape. I'm joined here by an illustrious group of players who are very eager to get their drama and ass kicking on. So we're going to go ahead and just do some quick rounds of introductions as we launch into this. I'm just going to go ahead and point at people and have you guys introduce yourselves and who you're playing. And then we're just going to roll. I'm just going to roll right into this because first episodes are always huge and they always take up a lot of time. And I want to make sure we have as much time to play as possible. So I'm going to start off with you, Quincy. Yeah.
Always me. Hello, my name is always me. Hello, my name is Quincy Spearsmith. I am an actor, voice actor, audio journalist, and I'll be playing Silvio Argentangan Long the Third.
All right. Next up, Shannon. Who are you and what are you? Who are you?
Hi, everybody. I'm Shannon Purser. I am an actor, a writer, a musician, and I am playing Noctis.
Noctis. All right. And then next up, we have Robert.
Hello, that's me. I'm Robert Hartley, GM. You can find me all over the internet at Robert Hartley GM. I'm a full-time professional dungeon master, most well known for being the DM for a comedy group called Viva the Dirt League. And I'm today playing a plasmoid druid called Flurbex.
All right. Thank you, Robert. Next up, we have Markia.
Hello, everyone. I'm Markia McCarty, Darth Markia on Twitch and TikTok, Markia McCarty everywhere else. I'm a voiceover actor, community director, and entertainment host. If you were at Gen Con the last 2 years and saw Gods of Metal Ragnarok or Misfits and Magic live, I produced those and was in them. So hello, super looking forward to doing more D&D today.
All right. Thank you very much. Next, AJ.
Hello, I'm AJ Winters. I am also a dungeon master and world builder. I run the first Dungeons and Dragons studio in Australia, and today I'm playing Mimi, an old woman, but also a rogue.
Excellent. And lastly, and I saved you for last on purpose because the last time we were on stream doing D&D, you were the dungeon master. But now I am the dungeon master.
Ah, the tables have turned.
So, if you would please, Gaxpack GM, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jason Charles Miller, all-around entertainer, and I am playing the greatest sorcerer who ever lived, who is now trapped in the body of a autognome, and his name is Grimble Thornheart.
Grimble Thornheart. All right. So, as a quick backstory to everybody who's watching, this game takes place in the very popular setting of Planescape, as you well know. Planescape was Dungeons and Dragons' answer to sort of a revamped idea of what Spelljammer was meant to be, a way to connect all the worlds of Dungeons and Dragons together. For this particular game, we acknowledge that the name of the beloved ancient city long feuded over and how to pronounce, just like GIF and GIF, Sigil, Sigil. Let the war rage in chat all you like. I've given this group full permission to pronounce it however the damn well they please. And
Zagil.
it's Sigile.
Sagile. Italian.
It is, I believe, written as Sigil is how it is canonically pronounced, but the creators, including some of the original writers, have all acknowledged to pronounce it however the heck you want. It's the multiverse of D&D, and everyone does it however they want to do it. So, that being said, with no further ado, this quick recap from the last episode. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and start things off. We're going to start this game at the... I don't know how... My instinct is to describe it as proto-Gothic. It's probably the best way I could think of describing this darkened lacquered wood manor that towers up 3 stories, filled with various staircases, some of which simply did not necessarily finish being constructed and lead to nowhere, perhaps. This was one of the many manors one of the many living spaces in the city of Sigil that is constructed off of the corpses of other living spaces, revamped, reconstructed. I would almost say sort of revitalized in a dimensional sense. Suffice to say, this place is a place of shadows, darkness, luxury, despair, and also happy memory. It is the manner of one. Let's see if I can pronounce your name correctly, AJ. Miriam Miriak. Is that correct? Miriak? Mimi,
Yes.
your manor is for you to describe. It is now 3 stories tall. It has been built and reacquired by yourself, someone who has made something of a living for themselves here in Sigil. You've done quite well earning coin here for the time that you've been here. At least you're pretty sure you have. You definitely have this manor that is in place and a good stopping point for all of the group. You guys have all been adventuring together here in the City of Doors for what do you actually, as a group collectively, let's ask, how long do you guys think you guys have been together adventuring? Do you want to say like a couple of months, perhaps?
Yeah,
Enough to
I'm
get
feeling
to
I'm
sort of
feeling months is probably the right sort of timescale. Yeah,
right.
I
Everyone,
think we're putting ourselves up for failure if we say we've been together like a decade, because then
right.
we won't
Yeah,
know
yeah,
things
yeah.
about each other that we should know by that point.
Right.
But yeah, to get over the awkwardness of like, well, we're meeting people for the first time, it should also be longer than like a couple of days.
So then we'll say it's been a few months, and y'all are very fortunate because the City of Doors, being the great metropolis that it is at the center of the multiverse, one of the things that will enhance your chances of survival is finding a group, finding companions, finding a pack, and sticking together is one of the best ways to survive on the streets of the multiverse. Y'all managed to do that and have formed yourselves into a small group that has, in turn, found itself a steady fixer. So if y'all didn't get the name down, I'm going to introduce an NPC. There is an imp fixer named Nurbib. Nurbib is a refugee of the Blood Wars, like so many of the demons and lower plane creatures that come to Sigil who don't feel like fighting in the eternal blood wars that are being waged in the lower planes. Nurbib is an imp that found his liberation when the warlock that had him as a familiar was subsequently horrifically murdered. A story that he loves to recount over and over and over if he's imbibed a little too much alcohol. But he is a cigar smoking, vest wearing miniature imp that has done his best to establish himself as a fixer here in the streets of Sigil. He is brand new, and so his contacts are kind of shallow. However, he has managed to secure work for the group. So you guys have managed to eke yourselves out a bit of a little space here. And thanks to the kindness of one Mimi, you guys have actually got a crash space as well, a very nice one. So I'm gonna pass this over to Mimi real quick. Mimi, can you tell us a little bit more about the home in which you have lived here and and a little bit about your character, a description and a background?
Yeah, so Mimi is a Shadakai, uh, but she doesn't look like your typical elf. She's 4 foot, slightly pudgy, has midnight blue hair with white streaks through it, and is just this very slow old woman, seemingly on the outside. The home itself is an eclectic mix of all sorts of things she has stolen, been gifted, collected, and then those pockets of darkness kind of just seep around the place in the mansion itself. So there'll be like a fancy ottoman and a shelf full of knickknacks, and then just a very dark and shadowy corridor, and then a beautiful pink room with flower pots everywhere. It's just this very strange mix of rooms. Nothing seems to have a through line or a design.
Gothic
But the
colors.
most, yeah, Gothic TARDIS. And in the center of the mansion at the very base, she's reconstructed the first floor to be just a giant kitchen space because she loves to bake, she loves to cook, she loves to brew poison. And all of that seems to sort of take place in the same room, as well as having this gigantic dining table for dinner parties, inviting guests over, all sorts of other events that she might throw. So currently, she's probably brewing something in a pot, whether that's edible or to use to kill people, unsure.
Excellent.
I love that she does that in the same location.
Yeah. I mean,
That way you
economists.
don't lose anything, my dear. It's all in the
foods and
same
poisons.
place.
So we're gonna go ahead and start the game off with a staggered character introduction of an early morning here on the streets of Sigil. Now, if I remember correctly, Mimi, we decided that your home, the manor that you have secured for yourself, we decided that was in the Hive Ward. Is that correct? Do you remember?
I
And-
don't remember, but I'm happy to have it in the Hive Ward.
Yeah, so the Hive Ward is not the affluent part of town. The Hive Ward is constantly known for its rainy, wet streets, which defies understanding of a typical person coming into Sigil, considering that the city itself is basically built like the inside of a tire, and that weather in Sigil kind of defies logic, but then that's magic for you. The streets here are often rainy. The buildings here are often falling apart. The Hive Ward is known, it's called the Hive Ward for a reason. It is known for being sort of the criminal underbelly of Sigil. It's where people go for shady deals, grifters, cut purses, miscreants, you name it. The stuff that they tell you not to wander around dark alleys. The Hive Ward is a giant dark alley of Sigil, and it requires cunning and the ability to look over your shoulder like the distracted boyfriend meme if you're going to survive. So, that being
Is
said,
it possible to have our mansion like on the edge, like bordering
Sure.
a different, like nicer place, just in case Mimi's like, I'm having a dinner party with like not the criminal underbelly.
so you can kind of give the
But it like
wrong
sits
address.
between.
You can
Yeah.
like upsell your establishment a little bit.
Yeah.
We're not in
It's
the
just one street over from the nice place.
Right, right. I love that. Okay, sure. Yes, absolutely. So, so on top of this, then, it is a rainy morning in Sigil. If you were able to see past the bizarre, cloudy, gray swirls of what would constitute as clouds that move over the streets above, you would be able to see the hazy yellowed sky that blocks out most of what drifts through here. You're not that far from the lower ward. The lower ward itself is the sort of industrial side of Sigil. The borders that you guys are on right now, specifically, um, lower ward borders. If I remember correctly, the Hive ward and the lower ward border each other, and on the other side is the Clerk's ward. So we'll get to that in a second, though. You are enjoying whatever concoction that you like to have in the mornings, Mimi, with the sound of gentle pattering rain against the yellowed, nearly cracked, broken windows of your study. When there is a resounding knock at the door of your manor down the hallway, everyone in the manor can hear it. One thing that can be said easily about this manor is that sound carries. So much for privacy. But at the very least, you know when someone comes to the door and you hear it again.
Mimi starts off just walking very slowly using a cane towards the door and then uses the shadows to teleport to the door and answer it immediately.
Okay.
Yes.
You twist the brass handle and pull the door open and you just see this slashing rain outside and the slow roil of flashing light from lightning that will never touch the ground. Immediately in front of you, you see nothing except for an empty, wet, darkened, crumbling street. And then you think to look down, where you see standing about 1.5 feet tall is an imp with a long, hawkish nose, big, like these horns that kind of arc off the top of his head, wings folded, leathery red wings folded onto his back, wearing a very fine vest with a old-fashioned tie tucked in, almost dressed. It's sort of the Donald Duck look, where he's just wearing just the top part of clothing, and a cigar that is roughly the size of his torso is in his mouth. He pulls it out with both hands. Just, I got some work for you. Mind if I come in?
Yes, yes, get out of the rain. But stop that. I'm going to take the cigar and throw it.
You just
into
pull
the
it
rain.
out of his hands. The moment you throw it, it just disappears into the shadow, and he watches it just. And he goes,
Not in my house. We have a green room for that. Come.
I'm gonna think of something really slashing to say, and I'm gonna get back to you on that to sort of quipping. I need to learn how to quip. He starts
All
to
right,
mutter into
Twit.
himself.
All
As
right,
well.
dearie. Yes, yes, yes.
A few moments later, he enters into the main study area and he looks around, stretches his arms out, and says, "I like your house. I always did like your house. Nice and big space. Where is everyone right now? I need to speak to everyone. If we get everyone in here, I've got a job."
Yes. Everyone,
Mm.
everyone.
Echoing throughout the house, one by one.
Has
You hear
been
Oh dear.
in the corner and the shadows, and I just kind of materialize.
Mhm. The silent.
Yes.
Oh, so if you're the first one there, Shannon, tell us, describe Noctis to us.
Noctis is a high elf rogue also. She is a thief, kind of known as the shadow and the criminal underbelly. Stealth is my specialty. And I love to steal, but it's not for the wealth, it's not for the jewels, it's for the power trip and
Rush.
being able to kind of humiliate the people I steal from. And I'm here. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why I'm here with this group of people. I get enough, from my dealings to get by. But I'm kind of a loner, and I think that I'm just trying to try something different.
She's trying to figure out why she's here.
Yeah,
That's
see
kind of
see what draws me to community.
well, as you've appeared, right now, Nurbub has his back to you, and as soon as you step out of the shadow, out of nowhere, like you were always there, you hear him say, "Where's Noctis? Is she around here? You got to tell me, because I'll hate it when she sneaks up on me."
Hello.
Oh, jeez. Hello. That was my comedic timing just then. I wasn't actually scared. Where's everyone else?
I don't know.
I'm right here.
Okay, describe yourself, if you would, please.
And you see a 3-foot tall golden auto gnome. Imagine C3PO if he were shorter and squatter. And it is none other than Grimble Thornheart, the world's greatest sorcerer, who was stuck in this body as punishment and is now trying to find his way back to world domination. In the meantime, has decided to join this group because they were the ones that made him become cognizant again of who he was, and therefore he has loyalty to this group. But deep down he's just annoyed and just wants to be back in his old greatest sorcerer that ever lived body, which is out there somewhere.
And you're an autonome and you're trying to be cognizant, eh?
Yeah.
Sometimes the NPC and the GM are the same creature. All right, so when you step into the room, who's following up after Grimble makes his entrance? Who would like to be next?
I would like to be coming in with Flurbex, if I don't mind.
Yes, please, the two of you.
And I'll have a big book in my hand. Silvio is a dragonborn, and an upper crust, not high academic as his job, but clearly went to school, has a nice deep V chunky sweater with a striped tie, and since we're indoors, he's wearing a blazer. Of course, we'll switch to a sport coat if we need to exit. And he says, "Now, those are just a few of the opening moves in Dragon Chest, Flurbex. I expect that you will not memorize all of them, but memorize the first few. And remember, there are 3 planes to think about. Much as here, as in life."
I think I understand a little bit. You see that that Silvio is speaking to around 80 kilograms of thick, gloopy slop. The consistency and viscosity of a thick hair gel, but with the color of murky swamp water. Flurbex is most commonly found in a formless dollop of somewhat in the shape of a melting scoop of truly revolting ice cream. You see that just below his surface, or their surface, or its surface, Flurbex uses any pronouns. He doesn't understand gender. They have just below their surface a floating chainmail shirt and a metal shield, both with minor acid corrosion damage to it. And vaguely above the neck of the chain shirt, again, just floating under the surface, is a blue scarf knitted seemingly out of some sort of acid corrosion material. And given that it's summer in New Zealand, this is all you're going to see of the scarf. This is the only time you'll see me
Your
in this
commitment is
cosplay
commendable.
scarf because it is extremely hot here. The deeper within this glob of a body is a myriad of dirt and grit and twigs and gravel that it picks up just from moving around over the floor. And then amongst the detritus, occasionally visible when Flurbex moves in certain ways, it brings items closer to the surface, so you can see that he's picked up all sorts of valuable items such as coins and glass bottles and metal, as well as just trinkets and garbage from the trash. Most recently, it seems as he's just come in from outside, he like nips outside and comes back in with a half-smoked cigar that's just very quickly extinguished within himself. It's just kind of, it was like, oh, can't let that go to waste. Flurbex likes nothing more than rooting through trash and garbage and finding hidden gems. And he says, I think I pick up the rules over time. We play again.
Very good. And next time, I hope you'll understand the turn-taking aspect of the game, as you cannot simply move all the pieces.
You have to move pieces because otherwise I damage them, yes? And this like pseudopod comes out and just like points towards it. As he's speaking, by the way, Flurbex is just like bubbles are just popping to the surface. He doesn't have a mouth or eyes. Bubbles just pop to the surface and kind of make a slapping noise that kind of resembles speech.
Excellent. Thank you for playing a plasmoid.
It's so fun. I've never played a plasmoid before, and I was like, this is going to be something completely new for me.
Yeah. For anybody who ever loved Treasure Planet and loved Morph, play a plasmoid. All right. That leaves one other member of this group who is going to make an entrance.
And at that point, through the open window, you hear a karoo! And flying out from the rain is an owlin monk, Teak. Teak Karoo. He's small. He's small for an owlin, which is an owl. He actually has purple and green tinted feathers, and he has a page boy haircut made out of feathers on the top of his head. Very Friar Tuck or Velma, as one will. And he has hands, but he also has wings. So he comes flying in, and in his hands he has it's like a wrapped package, which he with great ceremony sits down on the table and is like looking around to everyone. He's like, good day, yes, everyone has had such a good day. And he unwraps the package, and inside is a baker's dozen of limited edition red bean paste pastries that he has waited a very long time in line to get. He puts plates out. He takes 4 of the limited editions out, puts them on the plates, and then takes the package and sits in the corner and looks at everyone while he eats one.
So meticulous.
The 4 are for you. Teak did good today.
Teak, you
One is
want to
Mimi's.
swap? You want to swap with Flurbex? Flurbex has something to swap with you.
What do you have, Flurbex? What did you get today?
Flurbex will slop over to Teak and then just like bubble to the surface this like glass jar, and as it tinkles out onto the ground, you see that there's all sorts of like plant material, vegetation that he's found that he goes, ingredients for food. A lot of it isn't edible plants. It's just leaves and things for the most part. But there are a few things in there that are like basil and stuff.
Razor vines, which are one of the most dangerous.
Yeah, lots of razor
grow in Sigil. Just these bladed leaves that are just deadly to people who have flesh.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, Teak will go ahead and get the jar, take off the lid, and just like kind of take a sniff at it. He has an amazing olfactory sense, and he's able to know that within this compost of refuse, there are actually a number of ingredients that he could, for instance, give Mimi to bake into something very delicious. He goes, Flurbucks did good today. Very, very, very good today.
Thank you.
Yeah, Tika reaches into his pouch and he pulls out this thing that he's invented. It's basically glitter and a type of glue that he's put into a very malleable surface that should
Mhm.
be acid resistant, and he kind of moves it around. He goes, "This reminds me of you. You did good, Flurbix. This is a gift."
Oh, thank you. And a little pseudopod comes out and just like absorbs it from your hand, and just you just see it disappear inside, and you can just see the shimmering of glitter as it kind of swirls around.
Oh my gosh.
Flurbex can take one of the foods as well.
Yes, one of the 4 is yours.
Hold on there, Flurbex.
Just
I
reaches out.
believe we should let us divide these properly amongst everyone. The silverware, Miss Mimi.
She just
would
pulls
like-
out a knife out of nowhere and is right in front of you.
Yes, quite. Thank you. Let's see. And then Silvio starts to count the amount of people, and then starts to think about how best to divide cut four pastries into equal amounts for everyone.
Oh, they know very well that I can't eat anything.
So
Another
you
one
should-
of my curses. I can't enjoy good food.
Can I have his
Careful
bit?
now. We'll start calling you Grumble instead of Grimble.
I'm sure you already do that behind my back.
I finished cutting
I would
pieces. Now,
I've started
Flurbex, remember
absorbing.
to take in the aroma and the pleasure of the texture. But it's dissolving. All right.
Mm.
So just
Yum.
so that everybody knows, the bakery these are from unfortunately burnt down. I had nothing to do with it. He looks
Mhm.
around. So these are the last ones for now.
So they're very limited edition.
Well, at least if I taste it, I should be able to recreate it.
Noctis
Oh,
doesn't
no, but
show excitement about many things, but she loves sweets. So she just like very quickly grabs a piece and savors it alone in her corner.
Check. Just okay.
I will I'll give my plate to Noctis as well.
here, dearie, have mine as well. I'm not quite hungry. Full breakfast. Now,
Thank you.
Nobib, what is it that you wanted to call this meeting for, all this hubbub?
When you glance back over to Nurbib, he has dozed. He's sitting on the chair and just
Can I backhand him?
yeah. Oh yeah, if you want. Sure. I mean,
Nobib!
I mean, he's an imp, so your hand basically takes up most of the upper part of his body. Backhanding him causes him to basically slam face down into the chair that he's sitting on, sits back up and goes, "What?
You
Are
got
you
What
the
is
all
phone
it
here.
that you...
Sorry, are you done talking about all the useless, meaningless, pointless things you were all talking about? And can we get to business now?
Yes?
Can I have a snack first? You got one of
No.
those? So, all
You
right.
slept. They're all gone.
All right.
As Teat continues eating in the corner.
And just slowly biting into it as he's asking. He says, all right. Here's what I've got for you. So I got a desperate client who's willing to put some money down because don't worry about the because. Here's what I got. It's a snatch and grab kind of deal. There's a package that's being handed off. The client wants me to hire out a bunch of Burks like yourself to go grab us this package and return it to them. There's a couple of hitches, but we're in a sort of a desperate situation, as I've said before. So I've got a little bit of detail, and it's going to require a little bit more legwork than usual. So, also worth noting, our rival fixer, the one whose name I never told you, we don't have to worry about him anymore because, as it turns out, the Mercy Killers got him this morning. So don't cross those types, eh? So, getting off subject.
I hope his killing was merciful.
No, I mean, he's probably in the cells right now, screaming his brains out like he should be. What was I saying before I got off on that? I was saying something about.
Snatch and
Like-
grab, dearie. Snatch
said-
and grab.
Yeah, the
He
package.
said it needs legwork.
Right,
And as he says, this plasma, the plasmoid just grows to pseudopods that look like legs.
Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So there's a package that's going to be delivered, or exchanged, sold, some such. We're going to get more details when it happens. The problem is we don't know where and when it's happening, but we have a lead on how to find out, and the client is going to pay us double on normal rates. So we're looking at about 200 gold a pop here, friends. Not a small payment, if you know what I mean. Of course, my cut being slightly larger, but I'm honest about that, as you all know. So here's what I do know, and here's some of the information. If everyone likes to take notes, get ready to write them down, because this is what we've got. We're looking for a Vrak named Krobber. I'll spell that out for you because I know not all of you speak imp. Krobber. Krobber. Krobber's an information broker, or at least he tries to be one. He wants to be one. He's like me. He's kind of getting his start on the streets. The only problem is he's a bit of a dolt, kind of a chucklehead, if you know what I mean. In this case, though, no one messes with him because he's kind of intimidating. So he's got a bit of a head start on most people. He apparently knows where this exchange is happening. So our objective right now, if we choose to accept, and I think we all are, considering the gold amount that's in play here, but if we choose to accept, first stage of this is finding Krobber and either, talking him into helping us maybe, or taking more drastic measures.
So you want us to clobber Krobber?
No, don't start a fight with him. It's not worth starting a fight with Krobber. He's a bit of a pain. He's
Now, when you say intimidating and a bit of a pain here, how intimidating and a bit of a pain are we speaking here? Is this some sort of ogre or devil, or
Like, should we just give him to Noctis?
No, he's a
I'll
Vrock.
take him.
You sometimes I forget that some of you are still technically clueless here, but a Vrock is a demon. He's a demon, and a nasty one, an ill-tempered demon.
Are all demons nasty?
Oh,
No,
I
you
thought
think he's a
the
rock?
nasty ones were.
not all. I know a couple of pit fiends that run a bakery down in the lower wards that do quite nice there, I think. But
Not anymore.
Did you say he was a Brock? B-R-O-C-K?
VROCK, yes.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
I thought you said rock, as in one of the giant birds.
Oh,
I have
no.
issues with them.
No.
I thought you said rack, just like we're looking for a hat rack.
I thought you said
But that
rat.
makes no sense.
All right,
So,
right.
you know,
Is it a rat?
So, anyway, if anybody wants to know what a Vrock is, go ahead and you can make me an Arcana check, or if you want, I'll even allow a history check.
I definitely want to take an Arcana check on this. I think
Aye.
he's got a pretty good Arcana check. For a little bit of background of Teak, he's a planar philosopher. So he has been out into the multiverse. He's been touched by the outer planes in a good way. And not only because of that is why he's all about experiences, and in particular food, because the more he travels, the more he realizes that's what's really important. It's all about the food that you eat along the way.
It is. And sometimes if you're with your friends.
Nat 20.
Start of a campaign.
Are you using Marquis? Are you rolling on D&D Beyond?
Oh.
No. Do I have to roll on D&D Beyond?
Yeah,
I can roll on that, but I can take a picture of it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll take a picture. I'll roll on D&D Beyond from here on out.
No. You're I mean, okay, fine, but yeah, I'll take your nat 20. It's totally fine. I trust you. We've been gaming together long enough now.
Yeah, it's been like what, 6 years?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I was quick sidebar. The anniversary of our first D&D game together, that Critical Role anniversary game that we played, was just a few days ago, actually.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Love it.
So let's see. Okay, let me pull up this information. So Noctis and Teak, you both are going to know exactly what a Vrock is. I can only imagine that Noctis probably knows, because Noctis, having stalked the streets quietly of Sigil, you've probably come across a few.
Oh, I dated one.
You dated one? Okay, so here is what a Vrock is. A Vrock essentially is a demon, a large size fiend that resembles, the best way to describe it is it resembles a long-necked chicken from hell. It is a creature that stands at about 9 feet, has an elongated head. Think of the Skeksis from the Dark Crystals. Much thinner though, without the arch on between the shoulders. Huge feathered wings, giant talons with on like 3-fingered hands. They have jagged teeth and beaks and whatnot. They are a vicious looking fiends and are known for. Actually, it occurs to me now that Flubix might actually know. You actually might know a little bit about this too, because they are also known for using spores in combat as well as poisons. They can be very dangerous. So the two of you who are able to immediately click where you realize what a Vrock is, you're starting to get the gravity of what Nurbib is telling you, and like, don't try to intimidate this guy. As he's kind of stressing it, he goes, "No, no, no, you don't want that kind of trouble. I'm sure you could deal with it, but you don't want that kind of trouble. It's not worth it."
So
So
what do we do? We're not fighting him.
We make friends.
well,
Make friends with him.
if you want to fight him, look, let me put it this way. I'm giving you a lot of creative freedom here. Really, what we need is the information. How you want to get that is up to you. But if you attract the attention of the Mercy Killers or anyone else, or the Harmonium or whoever, I'm not associated with you. That's all I'm saying.
Not everything
We're not-
has to be, not everything has to be a fight. Teak is remembering exactly what a rock is. It's
Mhm.
like it suddenly becomes very pacifist monk. Not everything
Yeah.
has to not everything has to be a fight. I'm sure that we can find a way to get together, and there is absolutely no need. In fact, Teak sets one of the pastries aside and is not going to touch that one
Okay.
just in case.
So,
So we make friends with Vrock. Is he? Does he like things? I'm getting good at transemptions now.
Grobber is exactly what you would expect from something of adult who's trying to make his way in a world that requires a little bit of brain power. He's insecure and prone to being very rude. So just be ready for that. I've dealt with him once before. He's really not impressive, but he really wants you to think he is. It's going to be a pain. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a pain. But get the information from him and we're golden. Then all we need to do is find out where the exchange is happening, grab the package, deliver it to the client, and cash in on about 2 months worth of work for a single job.
Well,
What
sounds good to
information?
me.
What information?
What exactly? Yes. What exactly? Yes. No, what exactly
All right.
are we asking him here? Is it a person, a place? Will he know
Yeah,
what we're
well,
asking
he's an
about?
information broker, so he's probably going to want something in return. I'll deal with that part. Just find out what he wants. But basically, what we're after is he's got the information we need to find out where this package exchange is happening. Word on the street is he's got his ears to the ground when it comes to that sort of thing. And if anyone's going to know, it's going to be Crobber. So find out what he knows about this secret exchange. He'll know what you're talking about. All you have to say, Nurbib sent us to ask you about this exchange and is willing to deal.
Why
Now,
do
let
I
me-
feel like if we bring up your name, he's not going to help us at all?
The Blood War doesn't really follow people into sigil. He'll know who I am, but he's not going to take it personally. He's an information broker. I'm a fixer. We've got to work together, you know?
Mm.
Look, we'll certainly try.
Yeah.
And we have our own means of procuring information if we don't influence him in the
Sure.
right way.
That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. You're all quite capable, quite intimidating when you want to be, and very good at taking things that aren't yours. So if he doesn't play nice, do what you do.
But
And
don't
I
get into a fight.
I would just say it's just not worth it. I mean, I doubt anybody would miss him, but just it's not worth it.
All right.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Well, Well,
So is he? Do we know where he is? Because Flurbex finds a lot of rats in the alleys. Is
No,
he a
I can tell
particular
you.
rat?
He's got a base of operations here in the hive, actually. So I can give you the location of where he's set up.
Okay. Okay. So we go there and we look for like is he one of the normal rats or is he like a rat man?
Oh,
Like is he on
Teak
two
go.
legs?
Teak goes ahead and describes what a rock is to Flurbux and the rest of the party.
Oh, that's not what a rat is, Nurbib.
As
rat
Teak
is
is
like-
describing. Oh, sorry, please.
A rat is like one of these, and then I just kind of shift using one of my wild shapes, and I turn in, and it just whenever I wild shape, I just become like a plasmoid version of that animal, and so I just become this giant rat in the living room, and I'm like, this one is rat.
As Teak is describing, Silvio just nods along, takes out a small, like leather-bound journal, and goes, "Yes, Vrock, demon, fiend, 9 foot," and he's just writing notes to be like, "Yes, quite. Yes, this definitely makes sense."
all right. Well, let's get to it. No dilly-dallying.
That's what I like to hear.
Yes. Does anyone have anything that they need to prepare?
If we're going out, I need to switch from my blazer to my sport coat, and then rather wear a rain layer over that, which will be some sort of long duster.
Sometimes I just wish Asmodeus would have just torn my head from my shoulders. I swear. He hops
That
down.
can be arranged.
Yes, no, I know it can be arranged. All right, I'm going to step out then. I'll be back later tonight to see if you've progressed. Either way, good luck. Let me know how it goes. I'm going to keep my ear to the ground for other jobs in case you all screw this one up. And see you tonight. And with that, the imp casually walks past everyone, stopping at Flurbex and sticking his hand out and giving a casual point to the cigar that you have submerged in your form. Wonderful.
It just makes its way to the surface and just comes out of the rat's cheek.
And just pulls the slimy cigar out of the rat cheek.
I'm never used to that.
And yeah, the noise and the imp, without missing a beat, immediately shoves it into his mouth. And it instantaneously, you see the heat channeled down to the end of the cigar and light up again. The moisture coming out of the slimy rat is vaporized instantly, causing this misty smoke to sort of drift away as he goes, interesting flavor profile. As he continues to walk out, makes his way out the front door, closing the door behind him. Good luck. And the door slams closed as he steps out in the rain.
Nobab didn't do a swap. I gave him
He's a
something.
rude creature. That's all right. I have a gift for you. Well,
yes.
I will get the gift for Flurbex. Anyone else need anything?
I must prepare my hair for us to go out. And Teak does a little swish with his feathers and heads out to grab his hair brushes and barrettes.
All right. See it, everybody has inspiration now. Oh, we got an inspiration point for everybody.
Oh, nice.
All right, mark it down. Quick reminder: inspiration. For those who are watching and maybe new to D&D, inspiration is a cool little currency that you get that allows the players to. You can spend a point of inspiration to instantly gain advantage on any roll, from saving throw, ability checks, attack rolls. It doesn't work on damage. And I have a little rule where if you're going to spend inspiration, you have to spend it before the roll. You can't JK LOL and spend it after a roll. So make sure to gauge everyone gets 1 point. So make sure to gauge that appropriately.
Thank you for the inspiration.
Yeah. Also, if we continue to accumulate inspiration points, if we hit 3 and no one has spent any, I will convert one of those inspiration points into what's called a plot point. This is actually an optional rule in the DM's guide. Plot points let you can spend a plot point as a party to change the narrative a little bit. You can spend a plot point to be like, oh, well, look, it's a good thing I brought this potion of healing. Little things like that.
Nice.
Oh, I'm so glad that I have my lock picks with me today, and I'm going to pick this lock. Little things like that. You can use plot points to switch things up. Okay. That being said, even though we're going to treat this like, even though you guys didn't get the information directly in that narrative moment from Nurbib, we're going to say that up in the right-hand corner of your eyes, you saw quest updated, and everybody knows exactly where you need to go.
Press J for journal.
Yeah,
There it
yeah,
is.
exactly.
Press the M for map and open it up, and you're like, oh yeah, it's highlighted.
Exactly. Yes. Okay, so you've got the location of where Krobber's hideout is in the hive, and you guys have free reign. Whatever you would like to do next, it's all y'all.
Does anyone have an extra raincoat? Because I don't know if I'm gonna rust or not. I've been avoiding the rain ever since I was put into this body, and now I got to put it to the test. Maybe like an umbrella, or like
of course,
piece of canvas you can just hold over me. Anything.
I open one of the doors in the foyer, and it's just filled with other people's raincoats and umbrellas.
Whichever one you'd like, dearie.
This gives me more questions than answers, but I'll find one that fits me, and we'll just go from there.
All right.
How long have you been like this, Grumble?
Just a couple of weeks. And then we had that whole thing where I disappeared again for a while, and someone else took over my body, and then I wrested control back, and it's never going to switch again. I'm sure of it. Yes. If there's one thing I'm sure of, it's that I have complete control over this auto-gnome body.
This is called Chekhov's auto-gnome.
Yes, and you're much a lot of fun. The other version wasn't nice at all. Flomax, come with me.
The rat scurries along on its little rat legs.
Slime rat continues. Okay. All right. So everybody gets their gears together, gets their Sunday best on to head out into the dreary weather that is currently just coating the hive in essentially a very fine layer of slime, which happens when it doesn't rain for a while here in the hive and grime accumulates on the cobbled streets. When you exit out the door into the light rain, to describe the hive is very much if you can imagine to the best of your ability, a very almost post-apocalyptic looking city of multicultural architectural decisions that were made from things that span across the multiverse of D&D, from the bizarre alien and illogical mindscapes of Mind Flayer architecture to the multi-tiered building of some crumbled castle-like keep built on the side of the street, almost like it was just a standard house that was on this corner of the block. There's also rubble that you can occasionally find just laying out in the middle of the road. The hive is one of the few places in Sigil where the taxi services do not venture. They will not deliver people to the hive. You are dropped off on the borders and everyone turns around and leaves, because walking the streets in the hive is kind of questionable. Another reason while moving in packs has really worked out well for you. Plus, some of you definitely look like a bunch of Berks that might be more trouble than they're worth. There's two types of creatures in Sigil that you can be scared of. The ones that clearly look like they are walking around as lieutenants and generals of some higher power, and then the ones that look completely nondescript and somewhat playful that are probably withholding the secret of the destruction of the multiverse within their tiny little form. AKA seeing a cute little autognome walking in the streets of Sigil could mean death for anybody who messes with that autognome. You just don't know who you're talking to in this city. Nobody approaches you all as you journey down the streets of the hive. But for those of you who like to move in the shadows, who are familiar with the criminal underworld, there is something comforting in how familiar this place feels to you. Wherever you might be from across the D&D multiverse, as it were, across the worlds of Toril or Kryn, across Oerth, wherever you are from, one thing is for sure. These parts of the city always look the same everywhere you go. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. And here in the hive, it is punched up multiple notches. It takes about a good 20-minute walk and maneuvering through some of the crowds, pushing through the drudgery and the sludge and the rain before you finally come to a corner that looks like it might be the destination you're looking for. Probably not a tavern, but certainly looks like where people are gathered and are having drinks early in the morning. The weather here is still not letting up, but you can definitely see candlelight on the inside of foggy glass windows and a small ramp leading up to the front door. Sitting at the front door, though, you see what looks like a human who's picking their fingers with a dagger. And it looks like he's really getting into it too. Like he's completely like focused, just hasn't seen you guys approach. Dressed in leathers, everything in your body right now. Noctis tells you this person is a fellow thief. You can just spot each other. You're good at it. And Mimi, you as well instantly kind of smell out that this is probably one of those shady, seedy people that you would be doing deals with or who would be robbing somebody in a back alley.
Would I know this fella?
No, you've never seen him before. That's not too unusual for Sigil, but he doesn't look like anybody you've met yet.
Good morning.
Yeah, is all he says as he continues to pick at his nails.
Do any of us recognize him?
No, this just looks like another faceless denizen of Sigil. But somebody who apparently has taken something of a sentinel position outside this establishment.
Yes, they always bring in new people.
Teak is very fluffy and little borderline adorable. Has a cupcake barrette sweeping the side of his page boy haircut. This is going out to get an information barrette. He's going to attempt to stealth pass the person at the front.
Okay.
Like to stealth pass to flank them.
Okay. Well, normally, since you are approaching from his front, normally this would be made with disadvantage. However, he is completely not paying attention. So just make a flat roll. Make me a stealth check.
Okay. I'm
And
doing
see
it on
against his
a
passive perception.
D&D
Yeah.
Beyond.
Click that stealth
Okay.
skill and
Oh, I never. Here we go. Okay.
like,
13 plus 4, 17.
yeah, he has no idea. You've positioned yourself right next to him, and he has no clue that you're standing right next to him. He's just.
You got a bunch of points donated by Rogan.
Oh no, Rogan 27, unleashing hell once again. All right, cool. So how many inspiration points does that make us?
Oh no, this is overwhelming for you. It's either 50 inspiration points for you, or you can have 10 superior 10 superior healing for your NPCs.
For anyone who can't hear what's happening, a lot of stuff just got donated.
Yeah, y'all are watching me respond to what I'm being told that Rogan 27, our resident shenan artist, has just committed some shenanigans and killed my camera in the process. Apparently shenaned me right out of the stream.
You can use that money to buy a new camera.
Excellent. Thank you, Rogan. I'll appreciate that. Yes. Okay, so as I fix this real quick, so then you guys are going to have an enormous amount of story points then. Let's see if I can't just switch this out of my I'm going to switch this out of my regular backdrop stream. There we go. Okay, so that's going to be how many story points is that going to give, or inspiration is that going to give everyone?
Well, you get to decide. It's for you.
Oh, I get to decide. Oh, I GM get this?
Yes.
Oh, Rogan has got it out for you guys. Okay. So I get
support.
how many inspiration is that for? Do you have a number?
It was 50. Yeah, obviously I
50?
underpriced inspiration.
50? Okay, I'm gonna absolutely use that to mess with y'all. Excellent. Well, holy hell, I'm just gonna bank that.
Advantage on every roll.
Holy crap, you guys. Okay. All right then.
I'm glad I got my stealth roll in there before that happened.
Yeah. Okay, so you are standing next to him. He has no clue, absolutely no clue you were there, Teak. Completely oblivious to your presence.
Okay. Well, Teak is going to produce one of the limited edition pastries
Huh?
and put it right underneath his nose.
He almost nicks his finger as he jumps and goes, "Oh." Looks over at you and goes,
That's
"Is that for me?"
it can be. Do you know this is a very, very limited edition? The bakery this is from burned down this morning. Yes, that bakery.
But Teak had nothing to do with it.
Not a thing.
All right. What do you want for that?
Just look the other way while you enjoy it.
Just casually takes it from your hand. Your outstretched claw turns and looks out into the street and just starts slowly eating it. And
Good day.
Are we going inside now?
Yes, we are.
Okay. I'll just walk inside.
I open the
Still in
door,
still in rat form.
stepping in.
and allow everyone to go in first. After you all, my compatriots.
Okay. One by one, you all filter into this room. What immediately becomes clear to you when you enter the room is it's not so much a tavern as it looks like some kind of backroom dealing sort of. It's barely the size of a large closet in here. You've got enough room for about a single table and what looks like a small a mini bar of some kind that has just a few bottles behind it. But sitting at the tables, you see just a couple of humans, a dwarf, a drow elf, and what you're pretty sure is an Aarakocra, one of the bird people, but they look like they have been mutated by the far realms. In other words, you are seeing what looks like a hawkish looking individual who, on one side of their body, has the beautiful dark brown feathers of a hawk. And on the left side of their body, you're seeing a tentacle emerging from their neck and is just slowly swerving in the wind. Their left eye also is completely black as the abyss, while their right eye is this beautiful yellowed hawk like eye. They look like they've been pretty far out there and have been touched by the far realms, essentially. None of them look up at you. However, when you step in and see them, they're all gathered around a table and it looks like they're playing cards, gambling of some kind. About 10 feet behind them, though, sitting on a chair next to a broken desk, you see what is very clearly a large rock. He's got his legs folded up on himself and he's scribbling. He's too big to be sitting in the chair that he's sitting in, but he's making it work. He's got this quill that he's like scratching on this surface of this old parchment. Doesn't look up when you all walk in. An odd sight. And for those of you who are also capable, the smells in here, it's going to take a while to forget them.
All right, things just got evened out.
Oh, did they?
Rabbit Jackwagon just donated 6,000, which is 60 inspiration points for the group, or at 3 apiece, that's 20. Yeah, so we way underpriced these, but anyway.
Well, here's what I'll do. I will let you all have so here's what I'll do because we're just now finding out y'all can't hear this on the stream at home, but we're just finding out about the massive donations that had just happened for the players now. So here's what we'll do. I'm going to give everyone because of those donations, I'm going to give everyone 3 points of inspiration and everyone gets a single plot point. So all of y'all can change the
Wow.
narrative at least once. Yeah. So y'all can burn that. Which is an immense amount of power to be giving all of you. But thank you for supporting the GaryCon Live channel and our stream. All right. What do you all do? You're in this room.
So it's a very small room.
Coats off.
Is there-
Coats off.
Oh, sorry.
Hang up your umbrellas. Make sure nothing gets wet.
As you're
Is it
shaking it,
Matters.
what was that,
small?
Noctis?
Keep it away from me.
Sorry, what was that, Noctis?
Is the room too small for stealth?
No, I think a skilled thief could probably move through here, judging by the fact that everyone seems pretty focused on what they're doing.
Because I want to get behind the Vrock and see what he's writing.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a stealth check. That's gonna be tricky. But you might. But I mean, you did just get equipped with a bunch of inspiration and plot points, so you never know. So just click on your stealth score.
19.
Okay, let me compare that to his passive perception. 1 second. Hold, please.
Just we play elevator music.
Always the girl of Ipanema. Never fails. Every single time.
Yes, Wabajack Wagon. I promise we will use those points responsibly.
Right.
Bless you.
Yeah. With ease, Noctis, you slip as quietly as the shadows that form in the hovel in which you live. You slip right behind him. What languages do you speak? Out of curiosity, do you have those written down?
Okay. Languages. So Common, Elvish, Infernal, and these.
Infernal. Ding, 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 ding. Sure enough, he is writing in the language of the lower planes. So as you read this, you get to, I would say, make a perception check just to see how much information. I'll allow an investigation check as well if you would prefer, but a perception check here would probably be appropriate. So click whichever one you would like to roll.
I'll do perception.
Okay, cool. Okay. You catch a little bit of what he is writing. His handwriting isn't great. And judging from the sentences that he's forming, there might be some truth to what Nurbub was saying about his capacity to actually formulate thoughts. But what you're catching as he's scribbling this down, and what you are starting to slowly realize, is probably some kind of putrid blood that is being scribbled onto this paper with this ink quill. He is referencing somebody that he has imprisoned here and is asking if there are any bidders.
While that's happening, I would just like to confidently stroll up to him.
Okay.
And say, Krubber, I assume.
The eyes of this demon stop, the brow pinches together, and this menacing visage of the demon slowly looks up and directly at you.
And I go, hello, I'm Silvio Argenta Nganlong III. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm an associate of Nerbib. And Nerbib sent us about a certain exchange and is willing to make a deal if you are indeed available for such a deal.
He stares. Roll me a persuasion check. +7? Holy crap. Silvio, you're not messing around. You are the bard, though, aren't you? Are you you're a lower bard? Yeah.
Yep.
He regards you for a moment and then says, "Everyone out." Immediately, everyone at the table stiffens up and looks. They don't move right away. You watch the Vrock stare at them. They immediately start gathering their things and getting up. Still has not noticed Noctis, who is standing behind him. And they all get up and immediately start shuffling out. Even the guy on the front porch who's in the middle of eating a pastry, seeing everybody leaves, you see him through the window, glance back at everybody, and he packs up his stuff and just hops off the porch and starts running out into the rain.
How convenient. Instant privacy.
Before the Aarakocra leaves, Teak would like to get, eye contact and do like a nod of community and recognition.
Okay. The Aarakocra, you see a bit of that smile on the side of his face kind of quirks up, and he nods back to you. Like he's catched on that you're kind of acknowledging him.
I want to pick his pocket.
Shannon, I'm so proud of you. Second game of D&D, and you're like,
D&D.
oh, let's do this. All right, roll me a sleight of hand.
Murder hobo.
Roll me a sleight of hand check, and Okay, that's gonna be again. Let me roll for him.
Well, for now, larceny, hobo. We haven't upped the
True,
stakes
true.
quite
But
to
I
murder yet.
see it coming. It's on the horizon.
Only a matter of time. Okay, 1 second. You have successfully picked this demon's pocket. He does, in fact, have what looks like a couple of pouches. They're not on him per se. They're right next to him at his desk that you are easily able to gain access to. Um, okay, I'm gonna randomly roll this here in a sec. But for the meantime, while this is rolling up, what would you like to say? What do you want to say to him? He's listening to you now.
Nerbib has told us that you have some information, something that I understand you deal in, about a certain secret exchange happening. By the way, if you don't drag your hand along your parchment there, you won't smudge the ink or dark red substance so much as you write. Just a little pointer there for scribing.
He sets the parchment down. As he does this, here's what you find in his belongings. Noctis, there's coins in there that you can make a grab for. You also touch something that feels fleshy and cylindrical in shape. Slightly wet. You're not sure what the hell it is, but it immediately causes this reaction of there is what also feels like something that's a little chalky. And you also catch the sensation that usually triggers happiness, which is the cold surface of a stone of some kind. So you've got coins, the weird fleshy thing.
I have to pick one.
What's that?
I have to pick one.
No, you can grab any. Yeah, you can grab any one of them. And if you want to stay and try to grab more, then it's going to and you're gonna have to roll again.
I want the weird fleshy thing.
Okay, you grab it, put it in your pocket right away.
Shannon has such good D&D instincts to be like, we can always get more money. But somebody described as a weird fleshy.
Your morbid curiosity gets the best of you, and all of your thief instincts, you just set them aside because you've just got to know. So you just grab this thing and immediately palm it. And as you're sliding it up into your sleeve to make sure it gets away, you're pretty sure you spot what looks like some old blood sausage that goes right into your sleeve as you pickpocket this thing.
Not again.
Damn it, it's always the blood sausage. He is you can try again though. He is completely unaware of you still as he's having this conversation with your bard.
Okay, I'll do one more.
Okay.
I want to get the I'm gonna go for the chalky thing.
Okay.
Whatever that is.
Sure thing. Go ahead and make me a sleight of hand check again.
So I rolled a 1, but now it says I got a 12.
Did you roll did you? Oh yeah, you rolled a 7 plus 5, so 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So he's gonna roll against that.
Don't forget your inspiration next time.
The odds are in your favor. You get to pick if you want to grab that chalky thing. You can. You as you're just kind of just casually just reaching into that pouch and pulling out very quickly. You're pretty sure the next thing you grab is in fact a stick of chalk. But it looks like it is. Yeah, it looks like it is made of some kind of powdery substance. It's not your typical white chalk. It looks like it's deep red. What the significance is hard to say, but you in
Can
fact
I investigate it?
Sure. Go ahead and make me an investigation check, or you can make an Arcana check if you'd like, and then we'll jump back into the conversation.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's fine.
Okay, I'll do investigation.
Okay. Make that investigation check.
16.
Your instinct tells you you've probably pulled a spell component of some kind, maybe even a gate key, but it's not just a normal stick of chalk. He probably uses this to activate a portal or something. So this Vrock folds these huge talons together and turns to face you directly now. And not you, Noctis. Turns to face you directly, Silvio, and glances at the rest of the party. He seems to acknowledge Mimi, like he knows who Mimi is, and kind of nods a little bit and says, "Right. Nerbib. Stupid imp. Stupid imp. So,
Yes, well, we're in agreement there.
so then you want information about the package trade-off that's happening. Yes, I can understand why. Yes. All right. Well, we're going to have to charge you for that information. Do me a favor. I've got a job for you. Do the job. I'll give you the information. Or you can
Like a transaction.
How many jobs are we going to have to do to get to the original job?
You're nobody in Sigil, so in as many jobs as is required.
I thought it was called Sigil.
You're one of
I
those
thought it
people,
was called
huh?
Seagull.
No, stop it.
What do you I have other things if you just want a sword or something, I have that.
I want a sword. Want someone dead.
You can do that with a sword.
Like someone dead? Like, just anyone? Just someone? We just bring you a dead person? Or do you want a specific person dead?
Specific person. Or you could pay me up front. Whichever you prefer.
What is the price?
How many coins?
What is the going price for such information then? I just want to know what our options are.
2,000.
Right then. So who are we killing?
You
I have some of these. I
Who-
spit out some platinum. I spit out some platinum coins on the ground, like 4 of them, just scatter out of my body, and I'm like, these are worth more than the gold ones. Is that enough?
What's funny is, as you're sitting here eyeing this worthless piece of chalk Noctis, you see a couple of platinum coins spit out onto the ground in front of you from one of your party members. Just kind of like, but it's in front of you a good distance away. And if you reach for them, you'd be giving away where you are, but you just see money laying there on the ground, almost mocking you after. He looks at the platinum and says, need more than just 2. Need more than just 4.
I spit out all of my coins, which is 22 platinum, 8 gold, and 9 silver.
The coins just shatter out into the ground, just clinking everywhere as they spit out onto the ground. This slimy pile of coins forms right in front of him, and he looks at it and just says, not enough.
Flurbex, what did I say about budgeting?
I don't know. I don't remember. And then I'll just absorb all of the coins again.
Okay.
So while this is happening, he still hasn't seen me.
He still does not know you were there.
Great. Can I want to find whoever is imprisoned here. I want to try to. Is that possible?
Yes. The parchment that he's writing on seems to hint that whoever it is in fact being kept here.
Yeah.
So this place doesn't look like it has any obvious doors or passages. So this might be one of those instances where you have to sort of snoop around your area to see if you can detect any. In which case, that's a perception check.
Okay.
Or actually, I'm sorry, this would be an investigation check. You're literally snooping around and trying to find evidence of a secret passageway of some kind.
Okay, I'm gonna use one of my inspiration for this.
Okay, so then roll. So Shannon, what you'll do is on D&D Beyond, when you go to click on your investigation, right-click on it instead, and it'll bring up a small menu and just click advantage, and it'll roll that for. It should roll 2d20 for you.
I see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, 16.
16. Okay. One of the benefits of this being such a small area is you don't have to look very far. But sure enough, you do in fact see signs of scrapings across the stone floor of this place. It looks like the wall that's about 5 feet behind him, roughly where you have been stealthing this entire time, looks like it might be a hidden door of some kind, easy enough to access. Those of you who, by the way, have been talking to the Vrock, who have a full-on POV of the Vrock itself, have been watching Noctis do what it is that they do. Kind of just, she's been doing something back there and like pocketing a few things, but now is putting her hands on the wall and like feeling it out. And you see the wall just get slightly pushed in, and a testament to their skill as a thief, slightly push it open without making any noise. Just, and you see a secret door is opened behind this Vrock, who at any minute, if turns around and sees this,
I'm so proud. I'm so proud of her.
Thanks, Grandma.
May I take a seat? My legs hurt. If you want someone killed, you know that I can do that. Name who it is. Come on, come on.
A rival. Someone else who's in the trade, who's taking all my business. A demon.
Do we have a
Where is the
name of
rival?
this demon?
Maybe. Maybe I tell you the name of this demon, and then you go tell him that I want him dead, and then betray me, and then I have to put up with them.
Well, you can see the trouble if we just go
no,
around
I
killing.
no.
What's that?
Sorry, please.
Dearie, you know that I never would do that.
And then I add, besides, you know the trouble that would be caused if we go around killing any old demon. Specificity is the heart of the matter here.
The demon kind of thinks about this for a second.
Right. All right, fine. The demon that I want dead.
Eyes you again like he's waiting one last time to decide whether or not you're on the level. And he says,
his name is Uguth.
And that is Ooguth. You slip into that door, Noctis? Is that what's happening? Okay, so you all watch Noctis sort of slide into the wall.
Well,
Yeah,
why
cover
you want us to kill him? What is he? Is he a difficult fight?
Difficult fight? Maybe for fleshy, blobby creatures like you, but not for someone like me.
So why don't
Oh, in
you
that
kill
case,
him?
why not just do it yourself then?
Because I can hire you to do it.
But it's difficult for us and not for you, so you do it.
It's a matter of economics here. It seems that it would be more efficient for you to give us information, you to take care of this, and both of us can go along with our day.
Sounds like we don't have a deal anymore.
And I didn't say that. I was just merely pointing out.
Sounds like you're saying that.
You see him start getting irritated. His feathers begin to like spike a little bit. Leans forward and just says,
"Will you take the job or not?"
Did you want to say something, our little Owlkin?
Yes. While this is going on and everybody's getting heated, Teak has noticed, saw like Noctis slip through, the wall and door like alone. So Teak is like, no, they might need backup, and is going to attempt to stealth.
Okay, that is gonna be hard because
I will use one of my inspirations.
Okay, to make this narratively viable, do that because I was about to burn one of mine. So your inspiration will cancel out mine and it'll be a flat roll.
Okay.
And do keep in mind the amount of skill it is going to take, because right now you're about to, let's be honest, you're about to probably accomplish this. But basically what's going to happen is, facing this demon who is who's looking right at your party, you're going to be able to sneak right past him and get behind him. So go ahead and yeah.
Yeah, I'm because they're all talking and getting heated, and Teak just wants to kind of like do that thing that you see where he like sidesteps out of frame.
Okay. Very cartoonishly, just kind of slipping aside. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Okay, so just flat roll, and I'll take one of my inspirations.
Yeah. All
right.
Flat roll, take an inspiration.
Let's see.
And you'll be rolling.
What is that? 23.
23. You rolled a 19 plus 4. Okay, so I got to beat that. Right? Let's see if I can beat that. I mean,
he's very small and fluffy.
This is not gonna. It's not. I mean, I wasn't kidding when I said that he was kind of a dope. That is a hard no. I roll a 6 plus 1. So yeah, you slip right past him. it takes a moment before you are the agitation. It's one of those brilliant moments where his agitation that's been caused by Silvio, when he rises up out of the seat and his wings flex and expand, they actually accidentally block his peripheral vision as he's kind of posturing in front of Silvio. You slip right behind the wing just as he's like getting up out of the chair and just going, sounds like the deal is off. And you slip right past him, right up to the back of Noctis, just as she slips into that secret door and vanishes. And you follow right after. Owlkin just slides right in.
Noctis just kind of gives like a little look of, being impressed. Like, nice, you did it.
Well, you were going
So
to do this.
I want to know what's going on. What's in this secret room?
Okay. It is not difficult to see what you have stumbled into. It looks like the storage room of some illicit goods that are being kept back here. There's a few things that you all notice right away. One of them is that there are a couple of boxes back here, like crates that look like it has various types of illegal substances that are constantly being pushed into the hive. Drugs mostly is what you're getting. Also some kind of like really high-end spell components. There's like looks like there is a crate that is labeled Lich Dust, which is a highly prized spell component and one that is capable of being used for some pretty potent spells. None of that grabs your attention though, as much as the small kitten with white fur and golden hooves, a golden unicorn horn with a brilliant halo-like ring around the center of it, a long flowing multicolored mane of lavender, pink, and blue, and fiery angel wings that are folded onto its back. It is sitting in a small cage, looking up at you with brilliant golden adorable eyes, and turns its head a little bit to the right, and it says to you, hello.
Noctis has never wanted anything as much as she wants.
I'm gonna post a picture of it so that everyone can see.
Hell yeah!
In our chat, in our little side chat. This is in fact a creature on D&D Beyond.
Oh it looks like Lisa Frank drew
it. It's this is by the way, just so you know, they have a volume that was put out called Misplaced Monsters, in which kids could actually create their own monsters for D&D and submit them for a monsters guide, and this one was created by Kinsey C.
Cute. Nice. Can we show the viewers?
Great job.
Sure, yeah. If we're capable of doing that, I will definitely the picture is up right now on the Discord. So and what you guys will love even more is that art is actually based off an original piece of art that Kinsey drew. And
nice.
Here's the original piece of art.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
Yeah, that's the original piece of art. So this kitten looks up at everybody and just says, hello, are you here to rescue me?
What? Yes, I think I'm in love with you.
Really? And the kitten stands up, and you hear the little clomping of hooves as it moves over to the edge of the cage and looks up at you and says, "Oh, that's so beautiful. If you wouldn't mind, it would be much easier for me to return that love if I was not behind these bars."
Wait a second.
This is not an idiot. She knows this could very well be a trap. So.
Welcome to Sigil.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Maybe roll for investigation or
yeah.
See if I can figure out anything.
Tika's like watching this happen and is like not, and just says, not so under his breath, all cute things are not good things.
Indeed.
So yeah, I know that I would like to roll Arcana, but we'll see how things go.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to make an Arcana check, and for you, Noctis, you are welcome to make an Insight check if you want to try to gauge as to whether or not this thing is actually like the creatures in Galaxy Quest and aren't going to try to eat you or something.
I'll do that.
Minors, not minors.
Minors, not minors. You lost me.
5.
I got a 15.
A 15. Okay. Noctis, this is the most absolutely wonderful creature you've ever seen. You absolutely believe in the purity of its entire being. It's spectacular. You adore it. Um, with a 15, I hate to say this, but Teak, this might in fact be the purest, most wholesome creature you have ever encountered in all of existence. The sheer power of its innocence is disarming, to say the least, and it occurs to you also, Noctis, in this particular moment, you're pretty sure this is the thing that the demon is trying to auction.
Oh.
Yep. I'm getting it. I'm
Mm.
taking it. I'm thieving it.
We must save this beautiful, innocent creature.
I completely agree.
All right, you move over to the bars. It's easy enough. Go ahead and make me a sleight of hand check to pick the lock.
9.
9. Oh no. This is a tricky lock. As you start sliding the lockpick in, you start moving it around. You can hear your companions are still talking to the demon in the other room. So you're just kind of like the pressure. You have to rescue this thing, and you notice at that particular moment, Teak, that it looks like Noctis is just so eager to get this lock open that she's kind of losing a little bit of her concentration. It's just too difficult. The lock doesn't budge.
Oh. Oh, hey. And Tika goes over to Noctis, opens the little container of the 6 pastries that he has left. Doesn't offer one, but just wafts the smell
Okay.
underneath Noctis's nose. You're like, calm, tranquila.
It's really
It's
doing
fine.
something for her.
It's
She's like,
fine.
okay, I'm okay. I can do this. I can do this.
Yeah. We will say, oh, what's your name, by the way? What
Rain?
shall we call you, you beautiful, beautiful creature?
My name is Rain.
That's wonderful. How did
Rain.
you get here? Where are you from?
From the upper plains. I really just enjoy, for the most part, anywhere there's a meadow, really. Anywhere there's a meadow, somewhere with rainbows, preferably.
That's so beautiful.
At about
We'll
that
get
moment,
you back to your rainbows.
I'm going to spend my considerable arsenal of plot points to add immediately. The demon, in the midst of the conversation out front, just lowers the wings and thinks to notice that there were more of you a few moments ago. Eyes narrow. He goes, and he looks behind him, snaps his head back at all of you, throws the table aside, and goes into a full stance. And that is where we are going to break.
But right before that,
Uh-huh.
you see Grimble starts to convulse and weird things start happening to his body, and his head swivels completely around 180 degrees, and a new face appears, and you hear sounds of struggle, and you hear Grimble go, no, not again!
Oh no, not again.
And you'll find out what happens after the break.
Okay. So it all happens all at once. The demon throws the table. All of a sudden, Grimble just goes completely exorcist, and then we'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a Dungeons & Dragons strategy video game that brings together D&D characters from the novels, adventures, and multiple live streams all into a single grand adventure. It is a deeply strategic game, and now Chris Dupuy is going to tell you how to play it.
Familiars are auto-clickers. They will help you progress when you're not in the game or not actively playing the game. Familiars will click and damage enemies for you, they'll level up your champions, they'll trigger your ultimates, help you collect gold quicker, and they can even help you click distractions. They're basically meant to give you more time to learn about the game and just play around with stuff. They basically give you some freedom without worrying about the enemies getting up to you, because the familiar's got it. So the wall of idle champions is when your formation, however you set it up and however you've optimized it, can't progress any further. The enemy's health is going to increase exponentially, and your champion's damage is at some point, no matter what, no matter how good you are, no matter how leveled up your champions are, at some point the enemy's health is going to outpace your champion's damage, and at that point you've hit your wall. So when you hit your wall, if you're close to your goal, there's a bunch of items that you can use. There's potions and stuff that can help you push just a little bit further, but normally that means that the adventure is done for right now. So what you can do is you can reset the adventure, and all the gold that you've collected will be transferred into Divine Favor. Divine Favor then increases the rate at which you collect gold on the next adventure. So even if you weren't able to reach your goal during one adventure, resetting it will allow you to get further each time. And so resetting is one of the core elements of the game, in that it allows you to basically like bank all that progress you've made, put it into Divine Favor, and push further every time. So when you restart, all of your equipment, all of the characters that you have, that all stays, but everyone restarts at level 1, and you gain gold quicker, so you're going to be able to level them up quicker and progress further on your next adventure. And then that just keeps spilling into the next adventure to the next adventure. Every month we have a limited time event in the game. It lasts about 12 days, and that's your opportunity to collect and gear up event champions through play. So we're in year 3 of events, so we have 3 different champions, the year 1, the year 2, and the year 3 champion, the year 3 champion being the newest one. When you enter into an event and you play in an adventure during an event, you can not only unlock the champion, you can collect chests for them so that you can gear them up during the event for free. Events are your best way to level up and gear up champions, but if you miss the event, if you join the game now and you missed all the past champions, time gates are your way to collect and gear up those champions through play. So every 3 weeks, whenever there's not a limited time event going, the natural time gate will open. You'll be able to open up the time gates and choose from a selection of champions, and you'll be able to run through their event story and collect up to 2 gold chests for them. And you can do that as often as you have the time gate pieces for it. So if you've been playing for a while and you got a bunch of time gate pieces banked, you can open up a time gate and just gear up any event champions you have access to. The weekends in Idle Champions give you a different play experience. Every Friday at noon and through Monday at noon, we buff 5 different champions. And so if those champions are part of your normal formation, your formation is going to be powered up for the weekend. So it'll allow you to push a little bit further and maybe hit that goal that you've been unable to get to. So pay attention to the newsletters, because it will list the champions that are available. And during the weekend, if you add them to your formation, you'll gain the buffs from those champions. And then if you want to gear them up, we have chests with gear just for those 5 champions. Patrons are really high-level characters in the Forgotten Realms that will allow you to replay variants, but the wrinkle is they add a new level of challenge to those variants in that they only work with certain champions. So Vajra Safar, the Blackstaff, will only work with champions with a high constitution score, for example. But it'll allow you to go through and replay variants to collect patron currency and patron influence, which you can then use to buy unique items, including feats, and also power up your champions in both the patron variants and also in every adventure that you run. Feats are champion-specific buffs that give you a level of customization for your characters. You can unlock feats by opening up gold chests, you can get them through weekend promos, you can purchase feats with gems, and they allow you to customize the character based on how you want to play them. So if this character is going to be a tank, you can increase their overwhelm level. If they're working for support in the formation, you can increase the global DPS. So you can really customize the character the way you want to play with them. So we give away codes through a variety of methods, like through the live stream, through our partner streams, or through our weekly newsletter. Once you have a code, go into the in-game store and click on Unlock a Locked Chest, and that'll bring you up to the cryptex where you can put in the code and it'll unlock whatever the code unlocks. So we have a really great community on Discord. Our Discord is at discord.gg/idlechampions. We've got channels for spoilers, we've got channels for fan art, channels for discussions about the game, and the community members are just so gracious and accommodating with new players, and they really help players get a grasp on the game and learn how to gain a level of mastery.
Hello, I'm Benwin Bronzebottom, celebrity dwarf and video game enthusiast, and this is my sidekick, Crowy.
Hello.
Quiet, you. I'm here to tell everyone about Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. It's a Dungeons & Dragons-based strategy game from Codename Entertainment.
It's a management game with an emphasis on formation strategy, where you assemble parties of legendary heroes and send them on adventures through the Forgotten Realms.
Heroes? Crowy, don't you mean champions?
Players unlock legendary champions of the Forgotten Realms, like Dritz Duerden and the Companions of the Hall, Farida and Havilar from the Brimstone Angels saga, and many more. Assemble the best adventuring party possible based on your formation options, champion abilities, and the obstacles and enemies you face.
Or just smash your mouse button repeatedly like I do and hope for the best.
Each champion has an incredible array of skills and items to let you customize your style and play even further.
Farther. Farther means more distant, further is figurative.
Well, I meant more distant, but figuratively.
That's forther.
Well, customize your style even further, because Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is available on all your favorite gaming platforms. Steam for PC and Mac, web, Epic Game Store, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Nintendo Switch, iOS tablets, and Android devices.
Well, let me know when it comes to the BlackBerry. I'm not giving up that phone. It's the only keyboard I can use.
I hear it's coming to the smart fridge next spring.
Welcome back to our demon plagued kitten loving stream. We're going to jump right back into where we left off, except for that, oh my God, something weird has happened. And now, as we jump back into the narrative of a demon that is about to throw a total fit after realizing it has been completely bamboozled, a transformation begins to take place in front of everyone. If you would please describe what is happening and who you are and what is going down. You're muted. It wouldn't be a live stream RPG game if somebody wasn't muted.
So the little autonome's head has spun around and it has a different face that seems kind of nicer, I guess is probably a good way to put it. And like the body is sort of shifting. It almost seems like plates are coming out and it's kind of shiny. It looks like it might be like some mithril armor is sort of clicking into place, and it's bulking up a little, like it's maybe the body's getting a little stronger. And when the transformation stops, she kind of looks around, look very confused. Oh, it's you again. And then sees the demon and is like, that's a demon.
And the back of her head is still the face of Grimble, at least temporarily, and Grimble's going, no, not again. You won't take control of me.
Oh, shut up.
And then then a plate goes down over Grimble's face, which now makes the back of Celine's head. And I will see you guys next week.
See you next week, Jason Charles Miller. Thank you for playing the other half of the Autonome.
When perhaps Grimble will take control again. We will see.
All right. See you next time, Jason Charles Miller. You now have full control of the body, Celine. And you can feel Grimble slipping back into the psyche and sliding away, and now you have full presence in the body. Yes, there is a demon that looks surprised and rather confused at this moment. Kind of breaks the momentum of the chaos that was happening as the demon kind of throws the table over, and this started screaming, and then your head started spinning around and your face changed and everything happened, and the room goes quiet, and the demon stares and just says, "What?"
Oh, welcome back, dearie. You see,
it's a thing. It happens.
Mimi is just sitting at the table pouring tea for herself.
Are we attacking the demon? Are we having tea with the
No,
demon?
we were told do not fight the demon. We were told we're going to make friends with it. Oh, I have a thing to make friends, and I will just push out one of my trinkets that I've got inside of me. You see let's say, we'll go with this one. you see a necklace start to emerge from me that's just seemingly got 4 fingers just like on it, like dangling, kind of like one of those Riviera, is it called? One of those necklaces, but the fingers are like mummified elven fingers. I'm like, I found this. This is for friends. Friends give gifts. And my pseudopod will just kind of lift it up and just drop it on the broken desk in front of the rock. We make friends now.
There is a stretch of silence where the rock stares down at it with hatred burning in its eyes. Make me a persuasion check.
Hell yeah.
It is going to be at disadvantage.
Okay, I'm going to use one of my my inspirations.
All right, you burn an inspiration point. That's going to cancel that out. So you just roll. Oh, 18.
Ditto 20, mate.
My
Ditto
God.
20, as everyone
Okay.
down under says, right, AJ?
Kiwis versus
Not
Aussies.
at
I knew it
all.
was going to happen at some point. I was just like waiting for it. Yeah, on a 20, this rather, as they say in Sigil, leather-headed demon stares at this for a second and then holds it up and looks at it. Just, fine. Reaches back, closes the secret door that's behind him with one hand. Just, you two that are in the back room hear the commotion. Moments later, hear the door sliding close and says, "But your friends are mine. They belong to me now. That's my condition."
Oh. No, wait. But a transaction is you give us something and we give you something. If we give you a friend and a necklace, then that is us giving you more things, and
No.
you give us more things.
No, your friends tried to rob me. They belong to me now.
Has this demon captured some of our friends? Does it
Tend
need
to-
smiting?
I tend to Sylvia.
Yes, it does
and I
seem
say,
that way.
I don't understand. Am I missing something about the transaction?
And roll initiative. As
we
as-
might have been able to escape the room, y'all.
I
know.
I want to note, Eric, that I have a rapier of warning.
That'll give you advantage.
Which just
on the
gives me
initiative.
advantage on initiative. It's not the biggest thing, but I just wanted to note that it exists.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. Hold on one sec before you guys roll. If you've already rolled, it's okay, but just give me a second because I have to set up the encounter here. Let's see. Okay, go ahead. If you haven't rolled initiative, go ahead. And if you did, let me know what you rolled.
Got a 3.
Well, that makes sense, though, because you're literally just popping in going, sorry, are we killing something? What?
Mimi got a 14.
I'm going to, okay. A 14 for Mimi. I will punch that in. I'm going to actually add Rain to this because Rain might actually get out of the depending on what happens in there, because it seems like Noctis is pretty dead set on getting Rain out of that cage.
Yes.
So let me roll. I've never said this before in a D&D game. I'm going to roll for Rain. Okay.
So we are rolling for initiative, Teak and Noctis, and okay. So
yep, everybody roll for initiative.
The item that I was talking about before would come into effect here.
The item you were talking that you were talking about in before game.
Yes.
Yeah.
That,
yeah. We'll have to discuss that item in the next session.
Okay.
Yeah.
How would I roll for initiative? It's not under skills.
It should be. You should see it up in the upper right-ish corner of the character sheet next to hit points.
Upper middle. It's left of armor class. Yeah. If you look at the top of your abilities and then your skills, it'll be the next column over. It'll say in.
You on desktop or mobile?
I just did.
There it is.
Okay.
14. So Flurbix, what did you get?
I rolled before you thing. I can roll again if you want. I got
No,
a 13.
that's okay. What'd you get?
13.
13. Okay, cool. And Celine, what did you roll?
3.
3. You're so proud of yourself. Grimble is not here, so we don't have to worry about that. Teak, what was your roll?
I hadn't yet because I
okay.
was.
Oh,
I
right.
Yeah, I have to grab one of these other items. I'm only going to be focused on helping get the cage open right now. Anyway.
Okay, that's cool. So we can put you at the end of the initiative order, and you can just roll it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no problem. So I'll just put you there then. All right. I've rolled initiative. I've rolled for Rain, and we're gonna kick things off. And winning the initiative with a staggering 21 to their roll. Vrock is going first. The demon is going first. So, yeah, and the fury of this demon is something to behold. It was kind of comical when you guys first came across him, even with that sort of that terrible glance on his face. The Crobber just looked like an angry bird creature of some kind. But as he stands up to his full height, towering up 9 feet, almost bumping the ceiling and throwing that desk aside, sending scrolls and papers and coins scattering across the floor, he is terrifying to see. The wings expand outward, and he is going to. He's got a couple of people in melee range. I'm going to just randomly roll to see who he's decided to go for first. And standing right in front of him, we have Flurbix, and we definitely have our beloved Silvio. I'm going to roll randomly to see who he's going after. And he's going after Silvio.
I'm going to just go ahead right now, cutting words this
Make fun of
break
him.
because I don't know how well I can.
Okay, let's see. He is going to, on the first attack. Oh no, he's going to do this on his first attack. Around corners, 15 feet is going to get all of you. I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw. Except for, I should say, except for Noctis and except for Teak. But everyone else, click your Constitution save.
So I take it that was an action that didn't
Yeah.
require a
I would
roll,
say
like
hold
his
off on that because it's not going to be a physical attack. He's chosen a different course of action.
Is this against poison by any chance?
It is, in fact, against poison.
Thank you.
Yep. So if you've got resistance to poison, you get advantage on the roll. Someone's got some music or something in the background.
Yeah, I can hear like music and cafe noises and banging.
Yeah,
and stuff.
cafe noises.
How do I do advantage in D&D Beyond?
So you right click on the stat, and then it'll bring up a menu that'll say advantage, and you can just click the advantage button.
Got it. Yep.
I just rolled twice, so.
Okay. All right. So, wow, you guys actually rolled really well. So, you rolled twice. Oh, because you get advantage. Oh, right, because you're
Yeah.
not a gnome. Right. No, that makes
Yeah.
sense. All of y'all passed. Congratulations. All right. So let's see. Let's see. If you succeed, target can. Okay, cool. Nope, y'all are fine. The demon, as he throws open his wings, this cloud of noxious spores is flung out in a 15-foot cloud, just lets out this huge vaporous cloud of putrescent fungi that just kind of attaches to the walls and starts immediately growing and corroding some of the wood that's all about him. Each of you immediately instinctively throws up your hands and ducks down or takes a deep breath and avoids it as this cloud spreads throughout the entire area. That's going to be his one attack for the turn, but almost every one of you almost got poisoned. All of y'all succeeded your saves. That's going to be his action for the round. His opening attack. The next up is Mimi.
And it was no damage on a successful save?
No damage on success. Yeah, you succeeded. You don't take any damage.
Oh.
You're not poisoned.
Mimi is hoping that they don't have to fight and is going to just sip the tea and look over to the demon and just say,
"Are you sure you want to do this?"
You can make a persuasion check, but it's going to be at disadvantage. And I'm gonna say that this is going to be one of those instances where a story point is not going to cancel it out because we're already in the middle of combat and the demon is pretty dead set on killing everybody.
That's
So,
all right. I
but
just
you
want
do
it
have-
for flavor.
yeah, you have a shot here.
Persuasion
So
disadvantage.
persuasion disadvantage.
17.
Missed it by 1. I won. Almost caused the demon to rethink his life. Instead, though, the rage in his eyes, he is completely dead set on killing everything in this room. If nothing else, Mimi, you now know you gave him a chance to
I did.
rethink his decision.
Yes.
Still take a move action though, and you've also got a free and a bonus.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to use my Blessing of the Raven Queen, and I'm going to teleport right behind him. And out of my cane comes my dagger, and I'm just going to hold it to his throat.
Okay. So you
So
appear behind
the
him.
blessing is a bonus action. And did you say I still had movement and bonus? So that's all I do. I'm just holding it.
Okay. That's going to be, yeah, you all watch an impressive display of shadow manipulation, and all of a sudden, you almost hear the squawking of crows and ravens in the background as this shadowy just cloak of feathers appears and vanishes all in the same instant, and she is right behind him. That's going to be Noctis's turn. Meanwhile, in the next room, Noctis, you've kind of tossed away that lockpick. What would you like to do?
I'm trying again. I have many a lockpicking tool.
Rain is going to attempt to assist you. The kitten, in all of its rainbow glory, looks you in the eyes, those big golden eyes, and says, "I believe in you."
Thank you.
So,
I'm gonna help you, I promise.
This is going to be an assist. So, actually, I've actually never had a rainbow kitten pull an assist for a player before. So, give me 1 second here as I'm going to do. This is a help action. This is going to grant you advantage on the roll without having to spend. So, go ahead and make that sleight of hand check again. It's technically, I realize now, it's technically not a sleight of hand check. It's a tools check using dexterity, but I'm fine with this. This is totally, this 23 will absolutely do it. You just easily slide that little sliver of metal in. It takes just a few seconds, and the lock goes, and you see this big, thick padlock pop open. And the kitten rears up almost like a pony with its golden hooves and goes, "Oh, you did it!"
For one little second, in Noctis's cynical heart, she thinks maybe the power of friendship is real. She just like opens her arms wide to me.
Yeah, with that, that's gonna be your round. So then you popped the lock for the kitten creature. Rain is now free and is able to leave their imprisonment. Next up is Flurbix. Flurbix, all hell has broken loose.
Yeah,
Mimi
this guy's
attempted-
clearly.
Yeah, he's
He's
gone
clearly
over.
started like I'm trying to make friends with him, and this isn't how friendship works. And so Flurbeck's sort of like this bubble starts from within, which kind of just pushes his body into this like more larger form, essentially more intimidating form. And as Flurbex kind of grows larger, you can kind of see a little bit more through him, and you can see that at the heart of him. For those who know, he's got this like golden tooth that was what he uses as a druidic focus because it's all that remained of a druid that he once absorbed. So he's got this golden tooth in the heart of him, and he's also got this really nice golden acorn that he stole from somebody that uses as a component for summon beast. But basically, those two different golden pieces within him start to push to either side of him, and he starts to divide like a cell undergoing mitosis, and he becomes two different forms of himself as I cast Summon Beast. Nice. Because what Dungeon Master doesn't love summoning spells when they're already dealing with 6 players. And so Flurbex just shouts, "No, this isn't how friends work!" And then moves into 2. That's all of my turn. Then the Summon Beast gets a turn, and all it can do is just take an attack roll.
Okay.
It uses my spell attack modifier, so I'm not. It won't let me click on that on the Beast stat block. So I'm just
that's one of those things.
Roll a d20 and add it.
Yeah.
All right. So straight d20 plus my attack roll of 6. That would be like so. There you go, like that. Oh, it's rolled with advantage for some reason. That was my bad. So I'll just turn that off. Oh gosh.
Tell you what.
All right, here we go.
I'll tell you what. If you want, because it was an accident, I'll let you go ahead and spend one of your inspiration points if you want to just take that roll.
Yeah, mate. Let's do it. Sure.
Okay, cool.
It was a 19 plus 6, 25 to smack into it.
Y'all didn't see it at home, but he rolled a 19 and a 1 plus 1, so it's like a that's a dirty 20. So we're gonna take it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and spend that point and.
We'll take that. He just smacks him in the head for a d4 plus 6 piercing. Well, it says
d4. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll that damage.
D8 plus 6 it'll be. So there we go. I think this is doing it.
D8
so 7 points of damage.
7 points.
I just wail on him from one side, and basically the two of me. Actually, thinking about it, the Summon Beast version of me has Pack Tactics, so I had advantage on the roll anyway. So I'll take back that.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Take it back.
So he has advantage. He punches him in the head and says, "No!" And then I'm just kind of flanking him with Mimi on the back and my two split forms on either side of him.
Okay, perfect. All right. That's going to be it for your round then? That'll take us.
That's me.
All right, cool. Then that means we have a bard who was just attacked with spores. Silvio, you're up.
This is petty Silvio time. I'm just gonna do. All right.
Okay.
Technical things first. I'm right in front of him, so I can't move back without drawing an opportunity attack, correct? Or am I far enough that it's not a big deal?
No, you are kind of standing in his threatening range. Yeah, I would say if you try, you would need a disengage action, but yeah, he would get to swipe at you if you tried to step back.
In which case, I will just instead go, now, taking care of, allowing your halitosis to overpower what was formerly a reasonable conversation just shows a rather uncouth lack of manners. That's just vicious mockery.
Okay.
So that's just a wisdom save on his part, and then we're sufficiently low level. It's a mere 1d4 psychic damage, but disadvantage if he fails.
Okay, what is the DC that he has to beat for the wisdom save?
13.
That is a hard no. He is going to fail that pretty hard. So he's going to take how much damage?
1d4 psychic damage. The more important is that he has disadvantage on his next attack roll.
That is excellent. Go ahead and make your damage roll here.
Let me find the thing.
So you guys are plinking him, but you are also debuffing the hell out of him this round. All right, 2 points. You attack his self-esteem. He is definitely questioning whether or not he is quite the demon he thought he was. All right. You blurt this out. Magic carries your words somewhere into his psyche. He has a moment of doubt. Do you have any other actions for the turn? Anything else you'd like to do?
No,
Okay.
that's all. Just being petty.
Next up is Rain, who is going to use their actions to extend their fiery rings and leap into Noctis's arms. And once arriving in arms, immediately folds those flaming wings back behind its back as to not burn anybody, and says, "I can help. Do we need help? Do we need help telling a demon to stop being so mean?" And
Yes.
okay. And that's going to be Rain's action for the round. Next up is simple NPC. And I appreciate that. Thank you, Rain. Next up, our newly minted, fully formed, realized paladin, who sees a very delicious evil target in front of you.
Yes, this little autonome reaches back and pulls out a great sword, and the scale of which kind of looks like a cloud strife thing going on. And I don't know, is it pretty dark in this tavern?
There are definitely some shadows, and it's an overcast day outside, so I would say it's on the darker side of things. Yes.
Yeah, it's a moon touch sword, so it's got a little bit of a glow to it, and this little autonome just grips it with two hands and says, "My name is Celine Brightblade, and I will be your doom!" And is going to come in with a strike. But there's also a bit of a booming around the blade, because she's going to try to strike with booming blade.
Okay. So, again, a moment of pure frickin' magic, or PFM as my old D&D group back in 2nd edition days would like to say. You see this gnome withdraw a sword from an open sheath on the back of their torso. And as she pulls this, the sword that appears in her hands, it makes no logical dimensional sense as how the hell does she had that on her. But as it appears in her hand and you leap forward, go ahead and make your roll. Does he get any saving throws versus this?
This is just a straight up attack.
Oh, we lost you.
Is
Hold on. We lost your voice there. What were you saying?
I am going to use one of my Built for Success dice to add to this, because that was not a good roll.
What is okay? So explain to us what Built for Success does.
Built for Success, I can add a D4 to one attack, ability check, or saving throw you make after seeing your D20 roll, but before the effects of the roll are resolved.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna have to roll a physical dice.
Is it a D4?
It's a D4. Yes.
I'm gonna be a very nice GM right now and tell you don't do it.
Okay.
Because you're not gonna,
Okay.
even if you rolled max, you're not gonna hit him.
Okay.
9's too low. So you basically you're gonna leap forward and slam the sword into that thick demonic hide and draw his ire, but it's not going to actually penetrate the skin, sadly.
Question:
Okay.
as a dungeon master, do you use flanking or surrounded rules or anything like that?
I honestly like to. I just think flanking is really cool, but I don't do the old school style of adding +2. I just give advantage.
Okay,
but
just there's a lot of us around him. I didn't know if that was
Yeah.
applied at this point,
For the most-
like because it's a great sword. It's actually
for the most part, though, for the most part, though, because Pack Tactics is actually an ability that has been incorporated into the combat system of the game. If there's not a Pack Tactics talent amongst somebody in the group, then I typically don't do the advantage. You've got that because of the shape-shifting thing.
Yeah,
you've got going. But for everybody else, unless you've got, if you're a kobold, for example, and have Pack Tactics, otherwise, nah,
makes sense.
Not so much. Yeah. All right.
Okay, so I guess I just sort of the strike just sort of bounces off, so I just sort of land and hold the sword, and this little metal gnome is just glaring.
Okay. Glaring. All right. That is going to take us to sitting in the back room, watching Rain get liberated from the cage through some pretty wholesome power of friendship. Teak, you've witnessed something very beautiful. What would you like to do? You can hear, you guys are behind a closed door right now. You can hear absolute chaos breaking out on the other side of that door.
Open the door?
Yeah.
Will that be my action though, for me to just open the door?
I would say that's kind of a use action, which I think, let's see. Yeah.
The object interaction.
I think it would be a use object. You interact with one object free, so that would be your action for the round. Yes.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Action economy in D&D sometimes gets really brutal, but yeah, that would be your action for the turn if you were going to throw open the door. Because it's not typically I wouldn't do that, but this is not a typical just throw open the door type. It's you're pushing in a secret door and shoving it aside, so it's like a big heavy wall sliding door. You still have a move action though, or any bonus actions that you have available to you.
Okay, then Teak wipes a tear and is like, "What is this? I haven't cried since that one time." And then he looks. There's a shadow that hits over his face as he freezes for a moment.
Not just like, what is going on there?
He's like in his angst as he reaches over to use his action to open the door to looking out in the room where it's it looks like battle is happening. The sounds were right. He carefully, if I can have it just as a free action, he carefully puts the pastry back
Oh, sure.
off
Yeah.
to the side.
Protect the pastries.
Faces the room. And the room, what's the size of the room?
As I said, this place is pretty
Wait.
small. So the room is about 15 feet in width.
Okay.
And maybe about 25 feet in length.
Okay, so Rock is within 10 feet of me, yes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to use my bonus action.
Just to give you a quick snapshot, because of the positioning, right now, the Vrock, Krobber is in front of you, but so is Mimi. Mimi is directly behind Krobber right now with a dagger up next to his throat. That's the first thing you see when the door's open.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool.
So I'm gonna do my bonus action,
Okay.
which and I'm gonna use that. I'm going to summon my arms of the astral self, where as a bonus action, I spend one of my key points to summon the arms of my astral self. When I do so, each creature of my choice that I can see within 10 feet has to succeed on a dexterity saving throw of DC 12, or they take 2d4 of force damage.
Oh, that's awesome. Just to simulate the fact that you have like this astral body of multiple arms coming together as you align yourself with the upper planes, in which case he's got to make a dex save. Is that correct?
Yes.
What's the DC?
Of a 12.
12. Okay. He's got a pretty good dex save. Let's find out what happens. And I roll a nat 20.
Well, it's very cool.
It's
when
very
Teak
cool.
does it. It's
Yeah.
very cool.
I rolled a nat 20. So, what's amazing though is particularly for Mimi, you see the golden blur of these astral forms just slamming into the demon right next to you without even touching you, perfectly around the aura of the shadowing darkness, almost like in pure respect of the divine power in which you have touched by. And you know, in that instance, that indeed Teak has been unleashed on this demon and is now about to enter the fight. That's actually going to bring us to the end of the combat round. So we're going to go swinging back up to the top, which is going to take us back to Krobber. Krobber, who is beginning to realize that you guys are not a bunch of scrub clueless newbies to Sigil. He is going to emit a scream. Stunning screech. The Vrock emits a horrific screech. Each creature within 20 feet that can hear it and that isn't a demon must succeed a con saving throw or be stunned until the end of his next turn. So he opens his mouth and unleashes this horrific sound. It sounds like it comes from the bowels of the abyss. Thousands of souls screaming in agony, begging for death that they'll never get. It all comes emitting out of his throat. Everyone make a con save.
Are we able to use inspiration
my question
on
precisely?
this?
You certainly can use inspiration on this. Yes.
All right.
Okay.
You absolutely
I will use one of my inspirations.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because getting stunned is no joke in combat.
Yeah.
It's brutal. Oh, I've got to roll for Rain. Oh no, Rain's not gonna like
No. I rolled a 20, and I'd just like to think that Mimi is just slightly deaf. From
Mimi
like
is like,
old
"Oh, yeah."
age. You know, when you like reach a certain like screech level, she just doesn't hear it, depending if she passes or not.
The different frequencies. Just
The different frequencies. It's too high for Mimi.
Okay, Rain is also going to fail that. So Rain just goes, ah! It's like everyone who is hearing this, it's a horrific sound. Let's see who passed and who failed. So it looks like, let me check the DC here. Okay, so it looks like
both of the Flurbexes failed.
Yeah, it looks like both of the Flurbexes are going to be the ones that actually failed that. Noctis, it doesn't look like you passed that one either. So the two of you get the stunned condition. So stunned means you're incapacitated. You cannot move. You can only speak falteringly. You automatically fail any dex or strength saving throws, and any attacks against you have advantage. But thankfully, you're not in combat right now. So you and Rain are basically coiled up. Yeah, what's up?
There's a question: Can we pay to give? Can we pay to give Rain advantage?
Yes, if you would like to support the channel and you want to see Rain get advantage, I will re-roll a d20 for Rain and see. And I'll even go a step further. If Rain will succeed, then I'll allow Rain to enact an ability that Rain has to help Noctis succeed. So if y'all are down for that, I got let's see. First.
All right, so we got Bits for Rain.
Bits for Rain is a fantastic band name.
It is.
All right. Saving throw. Magical effects. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna re-roll. And I'm gonna whatever the dice tells me. That is going to be the result. So thank you so much for supporting the channel. Let's see how Rain does. And I roll a 18. Well, the DC was 14, and Rain got a 17. So here's what happens. The screeching, as it is emitting, you see Rain go, and then all of a sudden Rain goes serene. Eyes begin to glow like the Avatar state, and this rainbow aura begins to emit from Rain's golden horn, and you feel calm and peace washing over you just as that screech starts to emit into your brain and cause you to lock up. Rain looks at you and you look back at Rain, and the two of you manage to ward off the horrifying sounds. You are fine. You're not going to get the stun condition. That means everybody but poor Flurbex is succeeded.
I did not use my inspiration before the hand, but could I use my plot point after the fact to say that I succeeded? Or is that not how you use plot
Yes. Because what? 50 points were purchased today? Yes, I'll let you spend a plot point to retroactively succeed.
So yeah, I'll say that it kind of like waved over me, but the sound waves just kind of like muffled through. It's like when you're speaking under a swimming pool or something, and it's all
nice.
It just kind of muffled the sound and didn't affect me as much.
Okay, well, the frog. I'm going to. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to. Nope, we're good. That's going to be his turn. Okay, so I'll save that. That's going to be the end of Krobber's turn. It is now Mimi's turn. Mimi, you've got the blade next to his neck. He does not seem to be affected or notice or care. You're not sure which it is, but he is still intent on murdering all of you.
Perfect. Then I will stab him twice.
Sure.
Once with the dagger that's at his neck, and with my offhand, the one that is carefully poised in his lower back, where I'm assuming a spleen or something important would be. And because I am flanked, because there are other people around within 5 feet of my target, I have sneak attack.
That's right. So you're gonna, oh man, here comes the damage train. Okay. So go ahead and make your attack roll.
Okay.
It's stabbing time.
Oh, that didn't do well.
Oh no. That's for the audience watching at home. That's a 5 + 5, so 10 is not going to do it. The second attack
and 17 for the second one
will do it. So that other dagger will hit, and you can apply the sneak attack damage to that hit.
Okay, very cool.
So go ahead and roll.
So 4 for sneak attack.
Okay, so 4 points for sneak attack damage. That does sink into the thick hide of the demon. And 6
plus 5. because it would be. Oh no, it'd be less than that. It'd be 1d4 without the +3, so just 3. Because it was my second.
Okay, 1 sec.
So 7 in total.
Okay, so, okay, so okay, gotcha. Mimi, go ahead and make me an Arcana check real quick.
Not my strong suit. A 4.
A 4. That seems to be doing quite well. Maybe stab him some more, and it'll be just fine.
Yes.
That's he just needs a good gentle knifing in the ribs, and he'll be fine. He'll be right.
Most people do.
All right. Is that going to be the end of your action for the round? Do you have anything else you'd like to do or can do?
No, I'm gonna stay there for now.
Okay.
Just to help with my other fellow people.
Okay. Sounds good.
By being within 5 feet of this creature, just in case.
Yeah, and keep sneak attack.
Now, usually, if I cause sneak attack damage, I have an ability where I can cause more necrotic damage to a secondary creature, but there isn't a secondary creature by using Whales of the Grave. So would I be able to use that on him as well? Just hit rain.
So as
just on the off chance that we're all being tricked.
So as rules written,
it does say I can also deal this necrotic damage to the first creature, so I could add this.
There you have it.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to deal necrotic, all right. So how much necrotic damage is that going to be?
1d6.
Oh, nice. Roll that.
And that is a 6.
Max damage. That's going to help. Okay, so
yeah,
with max damage, here I'm going to give you a piece of information. When those daggers, when you bury those daggers into the hide, you can't help but feel like this is not this. Mimi attacks Vrock. It is not very effective. Is kind of the impression you're getting as you're trying to drag that steel into the flesh. However, that necrotic damage, oh boy, you see this. You see, without going into detail, being mindful, the skin reacts and putrescence and whatnot. Yes, there is a nastiness.
Yeah.
So you definitely see that necromancy is that magic damage has definitely appealed.
I feel the presence and sort of hear the slight whisperings of dead people, either that I have killed or just like old friends of mine from the past who like to stick around. And I watch as they kind of like infiltrate. And you just see this darkness come over the eyes of Mimi. She may be a sweet old lady, but when she is in this element, she is terrifying.
You've got kind of that Penny Dreadful thing going on where it seems very nice.
There's another side to Mimi.
Yeah. All right. That's going to take us to Noctis. It is now your turn. You have Rain looking up at you very excitedly. What would you like to do?
Well, I don't know. It's gonna be hard. Normally she would go in with her daggers, but I am holding this precious baby, and I know the baby has some kind of power, but I don't know the extent of that power. So I think my main concern is going to be to protect my child. So I'm gonna, I think, just try to sort of get out of the line of fire, slink into the shadows with the kitty. I don't know if there's anything I need to do for that.
Well, what you will note immediately is that Rain, the torrent of holy light emanating from Rain's wings have completely destroyed all shadows in the room. This place is lit up like somebody brought a bunch of bulbs in here. So the moment you look for a nice dark place to hide, you realize there ain't any in this place as long as you're holding Rain.
I'm trying to think
pause for a second, just for a second, and acknowledge and praise that chat is currently quoting Labyrinth and is in the process of going through David Bowie's legendary song "You Remind Me of the Babe." So I want to just tip my hat and thank you and tell chat I love you guys. Okay. I'm sorry, Noctis, what were you saying?
No, I'm trying to figure out what else I could do. Like
Well, if you're conflicted and you want to get into the fight, I can tell you right now.
Maybe I'll do a one-handed strike because I'm holding Rain in one hand and I have my daggers on me.
Rain sees the look in your eye, and the magical little celestial kitten looks up at you and she says, "Get him."
That's all she needs. Okay, so I'm gonna whip out one of my daggers.
All right.
And I think aim for because I think I'm still 2 rocks back, like behind him.
You're in the next room. You're gonna be, if you emerge from the room, it is getting a little crowded where you are probably the last person that could fit in the combat area, because right now you've got no, because our bard is actually, yeah, Silvio's in front of him. So right now you have Mimi and Teak are behind him. You could fill up that third because it's 15 feet wide. So yes, you could actually fill up the third square and get behind him as well, and just line up and start going after him. And because Rain is a small celestial, Rain can actually occupy the same space that you're in. So yeah.
I think I want to go for his Achilles, get his heel.
All right, let's see if you can pull it off.
Okay, I might need some assistance.
Sure.
So when I'm rolling for an attack, do I click the damage?
No. So what you'll do is, you see where it has all your weapons listed?
Yeah.
All right. So it should automatically have modifiers. It'll say to hit. You just click that.
Okay.
Good to go.
Okay, cool.
Also, you're a thief, so you're also going to get sneak attack damage on this guy.
Oh. How do I add that?
So,
yeah.
Make your attack. Oh no!
Because this is pretty bad.
Yeah. maybe you would have gotten sneak attack damage on that. Yeah.
Okay.
You leap up there and slam your dagger into this thing, and he doesn't even turn to look at you. Doesn't even acknowledge. It doesn't pierce through the skin. But do you get any more attacks? Do you just get one attack? Oh, you're level 3, so you would just get one attack. In which case, that's going to be your action for the round. You just leap up there with Rain in your hands and slam the dagger into, and Rain goes, "Yeah!" As you slam this dagger down, nothing happens. We'll get him next time.
We'll get him next time.
That's going to be Flurbix's turn now. Flurbix is stunned and currently trying to. Oh wait, no,
Flurbix used the plot point to not be stunned.
Flurbix used the plot
almost
point.
was stunned. All right, so Flurbix is going to use Primal Savagery, and how that looks with an 18 to hit. I presume that hits.
That does hit.
Let me roll for damage before I describe how much damage it does. Let's see, 8 points of acid damage. So I think it's pretty good. So Flurbix can somewhat manipulate the pH of their own body. It's always on the acidic side of things. It's never all the way to 1 pH, like battery acid. But it's always somewhat in that range. So I think they reach out this pseudopod, and with Primal Savagery, they can just concentrate the acid into one part of them and just rake it down this rock, and just try and burn away 8 points of acid there. And then simultaneously, with advantage on the other side, the other Flurbix is going to strike with a +6 to this roll.
All right.
Which is a 16 + 6, 20. So that
definitely hits.
16 + 6, 21.
And that's
and that damage is an 8 + 4, which is going to be d8 + 4. 8 as well, maxed it. So 12 points of damage from the other side from the other Flurbix as well.
What's the damage type?
The damage type from that is I think it's just, let's see, Summon Beast.
Slashing then, probably?
Beast, yeah, probably it's slashing or piercing or bludgeoning or something.
Okay.
It says piercing because it's expecting that it's
your thing. Okay, cool. Real quick, Flurbix, go ahead, and if you would like to make me, you could make. Flurbix, you might actually be able to make a nature check on this too. But I'll let you. Well, no, this would be Arcana because it's a demon.
Arcana,
Yeah.
Yep, that's my strong suit. Here we go.
All right.
Arcana, that is a
No.
dirty 1.
That
is a dirty
really,
1.
You feel really good about the attack you landed. This guy's going down. That 1 makes you feel so confident. All right, so that's going to be your action. You're up. Silvio, I'm going to go ahead and let you also roll an Arcana check because you are up close and personal and watching all of this happen.
Alrighty.
Go ahead and make me an Arcana check real quick. You guys got this. You guys got this. He is so smoked. All right, so go ahead. What would you like to do?
Arcana checks.
All right.
Below 10 Arcana checks.
In true Bard fashion, I go, little pitchy on that one. You'd take it from a baritone. You could have a little bit better breath control, or else you'll strain your voice. It's not good for anyone. That being said, my actual action is I will now cast suggestion.
Okay.
Suggestion basically lets it's a Wiz saving throw 13 on his end. Otherwise, I can basically give any suggestion that doesn't require him to hurt or harm himself.
Okay.
Like a short suggestion.
Gotcha.
I will make the suggestion. Now, we've all lost our tempers before. We can end this now. Simply have a seat, give us the information we need, and we shall leave without furthering this chaos and violence.
Oh my gosh, if this works, I'm gonna crack up. Okay, your suggestion courses activity limited, magical influence, blah blah blah. The suggestion must be worded in a manner to make your course of action sound reasonable, which it does. Asking the creature to stab itself or throw itself onto a spear, immolate itself, or do something obviously harmful is not going to work. The target must make a willpower saving throw, and on a failed save, it pursues the course of action you've described to the best of its ability. To suggest, of course, you're going to gaslight him into being nice. All right, let's try.
I can.
He's gonna make
hit
a
the
wisdom
casting, so
save.
I use up my. It's a wisdom save. Let me also hit the casting, so I actually use my spell slot.
Okay. What's the DC on the wisdom save?
13.
13. I roll a 6 plus 1. The fury of this demon raging.
I think, let me just check.
Sounds
the
reasonable.
6 plus
Yeah,
1.
I
Yeah,
suppose you've got
that's
a point. Right. Sorry, I get out of control sometimes, lose my temper.
Grabs the chair and scoots it over.
Awesome.
Unless anybody decides to continue, our good friend Silvio just stopped combat. The demon is absolutely going to slam the brakes on everything and is instead going to listen closely to the deal that you guys would like to make.
The paladin is holding the sword and looking at Silvio and looking at the demon and looking at Silvio and looking at the demon and clearly wants to hit the demon, but is sort of holding off.
Silvio does a sort of like, I've got this look.
Yeah. Teak feels the vibe change
Uh-huh.
and like immediately just goes down and picks up their little duffel of pastries and just like, you know, waddles back into the room and goes towards the door and then just kind of like sits on the stool and smells their pastries.
Rain immediately crawls behind, like as best that she can. Rain immediately stiffens up in your arms, Noctis, and shifts underneath and kind of hides so she can't be seen by the demon. Glowing wings were going to give her away, so she tucks herself in. As she does, though, Noctis, you immediately feel this kind of the discomfort of a burning sensation of those wings against your skin, and you hear her going, sorry, as you're feeling
It's okay.
little bit of smoke starting to drift up from underneath your cloak. He doesn't see her. I rolled the check. So he doesn't spot that his prisoner has been liberated. So it's not going to initiate combat again the moment he sees. But instead, the demon goes,
all right. Maybe you're right. Maybe I got off to a... Let's start again. All right. Are you going to kill this guy for me or not?
I believe my suggestion specifically was, stop fighting us, give us the information we need, and allow us to leave without any further chaos or violence.
Okay. In which case he just goes,
I really need your help with this. I'm going to tell you anyway, but I would appreciate it if you would still kill the demon for me. Is that enough? Is that okay? Just think about it.
We'll take it into consideration. We can be amongst friends here, and friends honor their promises.
Mimi is still behind, like the demon is sat down and Mimi's like midway through trying to kill.
right, just ready to needle this guy's skull. As you're just kind of like,
And it will take a hot minute before Mimi can actually put down the daggers, and we'll be like,
Yes, well, we should definitely consider killing the person you want us to kill.
Yes, this
I'm a-
Ooga seems rather unpleasant, and let's have only pleasant interactions, shall we?
I'm all for pleasant interactions. As
I'm
Teak
all for
then
killing
eats one of the
demons.
pastries.
The autonome just piping up.
I'm just trying to protect Kitty at this point.
You just keep quiet, slide away.
Fine, whatever. Let's just be done with this. I'll tell you where. It's in.
You see that last vestige of resistance, everything in his body. He's fighting this urge. He knows he shouldn't tell you without getting something in return. He's an information broker, for the God's sake. He shouldn't be just giving you this. If he's going to be respected on the streets, okay, it's in the market ward.
It's in the market ward. And they'll be meeting up at this time. I'll scroll this 1 second.
Starts sifting through a bunch of the scrolls and papers that he tossed onto the ground in his rage.
Yeah, here, take this one.
The demon stands up to its full height and forks over a scroll and says,
That'll tell you what you need to know.
Flurbex goes to grab the scroll.
No.
No.
Just again, very quickly, which is unlike anything Mimi displays physically or on the regular basis, shadows forward and then takes the scroll.
The bottom, like 3 inches of it just went into Flurbex and has just got this wet, dampy kind of slightly acidic burn to it.
Shannon, do me a favor and roll a d4. So you'll click on the d20 and just scroll up to the triangle-looking die.
Okay, me?
Yeah.
Okay, D4.
Mm-hmm.
2.
Okay, you're going to take 2 points of fire damage.
No, okay.
As you are with only 2 points of damage, it's just discomfort. But as it turns out, they're not just aesthetic. In fact, Rain's wings are made of fire, and she is doing her best to squeeze those against her body. For those of you, nobody else notices, the demon rather, does not notice this. But anybody who glances over at Noctis, who in typical Noctis fashion is being very non-discreet, or being very discreet rather, and is very not noticeable. There is wisps of smoke drifting up from behind her right now, and you can see the jaw clench in her face as she is kind of.
I'm just gonna be like, guys, can we hurry it up? I think we've got everything we need to get. Please.
I say, sounds like a plan. Thank you very much for all your business. We shall be making our leave. And as a favor to you, I press the digitate just to make everything look cleaned up from our little brawl here, including dispersing any wisps of smoke that might have come. Nice. And just to tidy up a bit before we make our leave as a polite gesture of thank you and goodbye.
I think that's 5 feet worth of papers, just stack, and it's kind of like real minor cantrip as you just kind of clean up a little bit. Some of Flurbix's slime just kind of disappears, kind of slides away a little bit from where Flurbix donated a bunch of money and then took it back. With that, each of you begin to sort of back out, leaving only the smell of the putrescent interior of this place and the slight sweet scent of pastries that were brought in by a very kind Owlin monk. And the rest of you all just one by one.
You see Mimi talking to voices in her head, just being like, no, I shouldn't burn the place down. Shut it, Sharon.
So we're not killing this demon, but we're gonna kill a different demon?
We'll catch you up at home. Let's make our way out the door.
Okay.
But also, just for heads up of all of us, that the booming blade, and then also the fact that we lit up the place with whatever is hiding in Noctis's jacket, might be alerting some,
others,
not nefarious types, but the opposite. So we should probably hurry and get out of sight as soon as we possibly can.
I agree.
Flurbex both of the Flubexes get to the door of this tavern and then kind of do, like with pseudopods, just kind of do like a after you. No, after you, after you. And they're just kind of like both doing this after you at the door. And then they both kind of go to squeeze through the door at the same time. And then they just merge back into one.
One by one, you all remove yourself from one of the more chaotic moments as you leave behind this mini tavern-esque looking place. Overturned tables, papers everywhere, a slightly ajar secret entryway behind him. He's, of course, going to realize, once y'all are well away, that he has been robbed. You all make your way out into the rainy streets of the Hive here in Sigil, surrounded by dark characters and whatnot. But immediately when you get far enough away, as y'all are removing yourselves from the situation, leaping from the arms of Noctis, just in front and landing on the ground in front, the clomping golden hooves making contact with the cobbled stones, Rain presents herself to the rest of you as you see this kitten with the unicorn horn and the halo begin to gallop around in pure ecstatic joy, going, I'm free, I'm free, I'm out, I'm out, I'm out. And as she is doing this, the rain is just leaving these beautiful wisps of smoke from all of the water impacting on her flaming wings as she just kind of gallops around in circles like, this is great, I'm free, this is the best day ever.
Oh my god, what is that?
The Autognome is so happy, and also the Autognome is technically a small creature, so I think they are a similar size too.
Nice. Did anybody get hurt? Did the demon hurt anybody? Is everyone okay?
Holy buckets.
Who are you?
My name is Rain.
This is our new friend. We liberated them.
That's wonderful, dearie, but we should get out of the streets and probably not showcase that we have a shiny unikitty just in the middle of the Hive Ward.
She nods and says, you're right, and leaps right back up.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Yes.
Pleasure to meet everybody. It's so nice. If you're hurt or injured or anything.
And Noctis, she leaps right up into your arms and looks you right in the face and just goes,
it's raining. My name is Rain. You rescued me. I think that's really cool.
It is cool. She quickly brushes away a tear. Okay, let's go.
And with that, you guys, where do you have so the meeting point is late in the evening. To no surprise, there is no sunset sunrise in Sigil. There is only light and dark, and it still takes place in the 24-hour cycle, but it is technically morning right now in Sigil. So you have the day to prepare for whatever this handoff is that you're going to be intercepting tonight. Before we head out, what would you all like to do? What is your agenda? Would you like to head back to your base of operations and try to get some more information? Or what would you like to do?
Yes, I think heading back to the base of operations and then maybe doing some sort of scout of the location of this exchange, get all the information and stuff like that would be what I would suggest.
So
yeah, head back together, and then if there's time between, then Flebex would do what he does during downtime and go and find an alleyway and root through some garbage. Just look for food or intricacies, any trinkets that have been thrown out. Just spend some time.
Yeah. Okay.
As they're
What's that?
Oh, as they're heading back, Celine's just, what's being exchanged? What's happening? Do we get to kill any demons?
To be honest, you know as much as we do at this point in time. Not a clue what's being exchanged, but yes, we are going to kill a demon because I've unleashed some sort of darkness within me, and I must kill.
And I say,
and I just destroying evil in all of its forms.
Yes, a healthy pastime as any. This one came down as usual from Nerbib, and so if we have any questions, we should take it up with the cigar smoking imp. But he has taken his leave, and so as things go, we will do this job, and it's supposed to be a double payout this time. So,
like a big amount of monies for this one. And Nerbib said that we needed information from the rat. But is the sheet, is the paper we got the information?
It is.
Yes.
And on it, you see that there is a meeting taking place tonight in the clerk's ward. Now, so you all know the divisions of the wards that are in Sigil, the different areas of the city. The clerk's ward is known for being the place where the bureaucracy can be found, sort of the administrative haven of Sigil, as it were. It's also where like the civic center is and things like that. A couple of the major factions make a home there. It is not a place to do crime. In fact, might be why it was chosen, but the truth is the clerk's ward is constantly patrolled by some of the more nefarious law keepers of Sigil. So it's you are all getting an instant idea that whatever this is going to be is probably going to need to be handled delicately. You might call down the law, aka the mercy killers.
If there's any downtime, yes, going along with everything in the group, but if there's downtime, Teak has an appointment with their tattoo artist. So he is going to spend some time to get a wicked good looking tattoo.
Okay.
Sick.
All right. In which case, y'all will have the rest of the day to sort of plan and plot what you're going to do. Heading back, you learned that I will give you this much. Rain wants to stick around. So when you guys get back to the establishment, Rain is like, "Is it okay if I just hang here with you guys?"
Yes.
Yes, you can stay in my room.
Okay.
Flubix has gone
That-
like right up behind
Noctis,
Rain, just
she
like
is your responsibility if she stays with you, all right? Cleanup is on you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Noctis has like a little
Flubix
like
is kind of-
attic room in the rafters, and she just disappears into the shadows.
As that is happening,
Flubix melted all the way down as flat as they can get her to like come right up behind the little cat thing, and then goes, "What are you?" And then just like extends a pseudopod as if it's gonna poke it.
I'm Rain.
Just prod.
Big smile. I'm Rain. And I
I've
can
not
do
seen one
this.
of yours before.
She says, "I'm Rain and I can do this." And she turns to Noctis, and this is in the stat block. Healing rainbows, a wave of rejuvenating multicolored light in a 30-foot cone. Every creature of her choice in that cone regains 18 hit points. So the damage you took from the burn is instantly healed as you are bathed in the queerest of queer light. And you find you immediately that burning sensation to your side, and even the sort of like the reddening of the skin, it instantly heals. And as the healing magic and beauty subsides, the innocent, gorgeous looking little adorable kitty says, "So are we gonna murder some bad people tonight?" with glee in her eyes.
Yes, we are.
Hell yeah.
And
Yes.
that is gonna be where we bookmark session 1 of
yeah.
Planescape Ward Rats, by the way, our title.
Hell yeah.
Thank
Ward
you so
Rats.
much. We're gonna hop off here in a second, but that's gonna bring the curtain down on the end of our very first session. Thank you everyone so much for joining us. Before we head out, though, I do want to just do a quick round robin, real quick, and just get where everyone can find you and what you guys are up to. And I'll start with you again, Quincy.
You can find me on social media. That is Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter. For now, at Quintessence. That's Quintessence with a little CE after the N. After the first N, there's a lot of N's in that one. Yeah, or you can follow my podcast, Asian Americana, which is new episodes are on their way. The latest episode was mid last year, but it's a podcast about Asian American culture and history. Or you know what? The Ghost and Molly McGee from Disney just recently had its finale, but go back and watch it, especially the episode 100% Molly McGee, which I might be in.
Excellent. All right, Shannon.
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Shannon Purser, and that's that.
Cool. All right, AJ.
Hello. You can find me at Winter's Tales Co. on all socials or on Winter's Tales on Twitch and YouTube. Go check out stuff.
Awesome. Robert.
Hello there. You can find all of my socials links at Robert Hartley GM. I was lucky enough to get the same handle on all of the platforms, Robert Hartley GM. You can find me on Twitch, Robert Hartley GM, where I do an interactive D&D game called Twitch Tales. So come and join me for that as well.
Sounds good. Jody Hauser.
I am Jody_Hauser on Twitter, the Jody Hauser on Instagram, and Jody Hauser everywhere else, and in your local comic shop.
All right, and Markia McCarty, bring us on.
Hey, so I'm Markia McCarty. That's MarkeiaMCCARTY. According to Google, I'm the only one in the world, so you got me.
Nice.
But to be difficult, I'm Markia McCarty in most places, but for TikTok and Twitch, I'm Darth Markia, as in Vader. So enjoy. I have a couple of videos that will be dropping from the company that I work with, Hunters Entertainment, that does Kids on Bikes, Alice is Missing, and the such. Like I said, Gods of Metal, Ragnarok, that we did with Brennan Lee Mulligan over Gen Con like this past year, because it's 2024. Will be releasing that video, so expect that very, very soon.
Awesome. Thank you. And I'm Eric Campbell. You can find me at 16-bit Eric everywhere. I stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but known primarily for being the game master for the Stream Punks. Tomorrow we have the premiere, or rather the finale. We had to stop because of the strike. We have the finale to our Alien Live Play RPG. Beacon is happening tomorrow night over on Alt Haven, so check that out at 6 p.m. PST. And thank you so much for joining us here at Gary Con Live. And thank you for Gary Con Live letting me take the reins of a D&D game. This is, by the way, in the 7 years that I've been running games on stream, the first D&D campaign I have run on stream. I have never run a D&D campaign before. This is great. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and raid Lord Gosumba, I believe is how that is pronounced. And we will catch you next Sunday, same time. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you then.